Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Mad Lads Live. Kenshi, the Sith Reborn. Oh man, how was everyone's weekend? How was everyone's weekend been? Been a couple days to streamed. Take Fridays and Saturdays off. So how was everyone's Friday and Saturday? Hope it was good. Hope it was good. Now, if I recall, I was looking for cotton. I need to get cotton because I have like 8 cotton and I need 10 cotton so I can start doing hydroponics. Yeah, that was what I was working on. So Beep was running around trying to find cotton. And if I recall, we'd gone into Blister Hill and they did not have any cotton, which is always annoying. Always annoying. So Beep is going to continue his ever-present journey to find some goddamn cotton. And it's probably going to require me to run actually all the way down to either Stack or Don Erith. So can't say I'm stoked about that, but that's fine. We're going to head on over there and get that part done and out of the way. These are clones, but they're just clone troopers. Even if they do shoot, Beep can either outrun them or you can kill them. Yeah. yeah. So I do hope everyone's evening is going well, though. I hope everyone's day's been good. Everyone's evening's been going good. I'm personally fucking exhausted. I've done four or 5 hours of driving today, and I'm just pooped, But here we are, doing Beep things. I've got a couple of side projects that I'm working on right now that I am beyond hyped for, super hyped for. Trying to find cotton. There's surely an offensive joke that alludes to where to find some, but I won't sink that low this early in the stream. Wait till like 30-ish minutes in, I guess. You know? Wait till like 30 minutes in. Yeah. Yeah. We're on the road. Find some cotton, yeah. Hopefully we don't have to go to the capital. I prefer to avoid going to the capital. I'm not like opposed to it, but I would prefer to avoid it if I can. If I can avoid it, I would like to. Okay. I've started a new playthrough. My current one is way too rich and skilled due to spice smuggling. Yep, that'll do it. I've been running on my own time. Excuse me. I've been running on my own time like a bounty hunter playthrough with like a team like one sharpshooter basically. And it's been a lot of fun. I've just had like one sharpshooter that goes up and just snipes people for days. If you drove that much, what state did you go to? I didn't go to another state. So what happened was my brother-in-law, who like he just turned 18 like recently. My brother-in-law just turned 18 and he wanted to go on a date with his girlfriend for Valentine's Day. It's a little late, but it's, they scheduled it out and they asked if I would like, my wife and I would basically go pick him up, go pick her up, and then bring them to like to wherever they were going, and then they were gonna like stay in a hotel for the evening, and then I'd go get them the next day, and bring them all back home. But the distance between like where I was to where they were was like 25 minutes, and then from where they were to her house was like another hour and change, and then from her house back to his house was like another like 2 hours and change. So it's just been a long fucking drive, but it's done now. So all in state, just all over. I basically went just all over. 2 hemp for 1 spice. They produce quick. I had 20 hydroponic hemp and 20 spice things. Fills a bull pack with almost 400k. Jesus Christ. That is a lot. Now, if I recall, the problem I'm going to have here is that the Adventurers League owns most of this stuff. But stay at a hotel. You trying to be his best man at the wedding? No, nothing like that. He's actually like it's funny because it's gonna sound like I'm like blind to the whole thing. No, he's a good kid. He's not none of that shit. None of that. He's a good kid. I'm not. And that's coming from someone who grew up as a hoodlum and all of that stuff. Nah, he's none of that stuff. But even if he was, he's 18 now. You know, he's an adult. He can make his own choices. So. As long as he's not doing anything particularly stupid, he's allowed to spend an evening with his girlfriend. He's an adult. You think that is impassioned? Actually, I guess she's super religious, so yeah, probably, actually. Actually, probably, yeah. Moving. But I'm not going to dive too much into his business or anything along those. But in like 99.999% of cases, I'd be like, no, I'm not stupid. Of course, that was what was going on. And this one, no, probably not. Probably not. However, that is not what we're here to talk about tonight. Okay, so we're gonna make our way back to the base, drop off this here con now that we have a bunch of stuff. We have a bunch, and we can make some hydroponic. Get some hydroponic cotton going, and then from there we can start making consistent fabric. Once we have consistent fabric rolling in, we can start to produce the armors and whatnot. Because right now the cotton production is kind of the main thing holding us back from armor production. But thankfully, Darth Beep is on the case. Darth Beepus is on the case. He's on the case. Good old Lord Beep. They call him Lord Beep. Oh. Oy vey. Hopefully we get a better turn. Recently I've noticed Kenshi content and stuff. Oh, hold on, what's this? Okay, I'm done prying. I've in an unrelated news, have you seen that new Skyrim mod that adds Dagoth Earth Follower? The dialogue in that mod is hilarious. I've seen clips from that mod all over for a couple of weeks now, and it looks literally hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Yeah, all of it's hilarious. All of it's really good. I have been considering, speaking of mods, I've been considering doing either doing a playthrough like on live stream or making a video about the Sentient Sands mod. I've been really interested in it. I think that it's an interesting application. I like seeing stuff like that in games, and I think that with Kenshi in particular, there's really, other than like just the whole AI bad unga bunga nonsense, which, depending on the case to be made, I think that it's fair. But I think sometimes, I think just the existence of it is, different rabbit hole altogether. But anyway, aside from the unga bunga argument that just like AI is in existence is bad, it doesn't really hurt anybody because it's not like you're using people's voices or anything like that because it's Kenshi. It's all text based. And I do think the idea of having like fluidity and the ability to really like immerse yourself and engage by controlling the dialogue and speaking to NPCs is incredibly interesting. And I've been thinking about potentially setting up a mod, like a playthrough for it. Jesus Christ. I don't know if you guys can hear someone's fucking car alarm going off. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Every time I hear Nerevar, I start to smile. You know what, Nerevar? I know a Full Evil's character won't fit, but you think a text-based style character like Dagoth Ur would mesh in Kenshi? I do. I really do. I really, really do. I'm actually in the middle of working on a follower mod myself. I'm working on two different things right now regarding modding, but follower mod is one of the ones I'm working on. Maybe we can theorycraft what Dagoth Kenshi kind of character would look like. Thoughts? A Dagoth Kenshi style of character. I mean, it's basically just like, you're basically just making Deadpool. Let's be honest. He's basically just a fourth wall breaking, like trickster. Like, imagine like Deadpool plus Loki. You pretty much have the Dagoth third mod. Because like, yeah. Do you think the First Empire had a religion? We have nothing to indicate it, like in terms of effigies and stuff, but like that's something that unfortunately we don't have any idea. Do I think they had a religion? Probably not. But who knows, to be honest? I don't know. If they had a religion, I imagine it's probably something based on the corporate presence and all that stuff that was involved in the First Empire, because we know there was a corporate presence based on item descriptions. I wonder if if they had a religion, it was probably similar to the Corpus in Warframe, where they just worshipped the almighty dollar. Second Empire seems like they'd go deep into state atheism. I don't necessarily know if they would. I don't think that I don't think that there was. I don't know. I don't know. That's hard. That's hard to say where the Second Empire sat in terms of all that. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. Given how hard they suppress Okernism. Well, so the thing is at the time during the Second Empire, they were a cult that they didn't. I don't think they worshipped Stobe as a god. I think they worshipped him as a hero. I think they revered him as, it wasn't worship, it was reverence. They revered him as a hero. It was a cult that revered him as the hero that saved humanity. And I think that this bothered Catelyn for a handful of reasons, because Catelyn's an incredibly egotistical character. His presence of starting the Empire was based in ego. The reason why he couldn't let go was because of ego. The reason why his empire fell apart was because of his ego. And so it makes you wonder if the whole reason that he decided to crack down on the cult of Stobe, that we're venerating Stobe as the savior of humanity, is because he was pissed off that they viewed Stobe as the savior of humanity instead of him, the guy who made an empire designed to protect them. It was all ego. He was just mad that they weren't revering him as the hero. I find that likely. Just based on everything, we can infer about it. I find that likely. No. But I think that the suppression of Okernism started as Catelyn just being, super egotistical and not wanting to accept that the humans decided to revere somebody other than him. Because again, I don't think that they necessarily worship Stobe as a god in the start. I think they worshipped him as a hero, and then over generations upon generations, as his story became more grandiose, as it got retold and retold with more, more hyperbole, more exaggeration, all that stuff, it ended up becoming, more mythical, more he's a god, and then eventually that would remove the skeleton aspects, and we all, talked about how that looked as well. All right, Darth Beepus has arrived. The beepiest. He is the beepiest. Hypothetically, what would happen if someone broke into the Ashlands and put Catelyn through a forced reset? Probably Tin Fist. I don't know if you can forcibly reset. I don't know if you can forcibly reset. That's the thing, because it seems like it's got to be something done at will. I don't know if you could force a reset. Hey Hero, I come from your build and lore videos on YouTube and wanted to thank you. I got inspired by your gut-based build, and I'm trying to build my own. It's tough but fun. I'm glad that you're enjoying it. Thank you for popping in. If you have any questions, whether it be about building or lore, do let me know. That's part of one of the whole points of these streams is to engage with people. So if you have any questions about things, do let me know. But thank you for popping in. I appreciate that you're enjoying the content, as always. Hydroponic cotton. That's where here we are. Now, electrical components, we do have a couple that we pilfered off of that Hive caravan that we beat. So thankfully we have that, and we can get to running on the cotton. Now, who we're gonna have, farm this cotton, we haven't decided quite yet, but that's fine. If I had some dirty Trandoshans, I'd make them do it. Dirty Trandoshans, after what they did. Oh, good. Oh, you can forcibly reset them. There's a button on the back of the neck. Zoom in and you'll see. I'm upset because I'm actually about to zoom in to see, because I don't believe you, but on the chance that I'm wrong, I need to know. On the sheer chance that I'm wrong, I need to know, so I need to find a skeleton that I can do that for. Give me the source. Give me the source. Keep punching Catelyn in the face until he resets out of annoyance. Stop hitting me! Stop hitting me! Skulldog the Untrustworthy. There it is. There it is. At first I was about to copy your build, but ended up doing my own thing. But building around a shield bridge in the middle of the gut has its limitations. Appreciate the content. The shield bridge is really tough. That is the only build that I have been able to find a use for that particular shield bridge. It's been really tough to use it. I only did it in that build because someone in the comment section had actually challenged me to do it. And they said that it was basically impossible to find a use for it unless you made the like the whole design of the base built around it. So I was like, all right, that's how you do it. Then that's how we're gonna do it. If that's how you do it, that's how we're gonna do it. So I literally built the entire base around that shield bridge. Was the whole purpose of me putting it there was to build the base around it. Beautiful. All right, we should get a fair amount of cotton out of this. Fair amount of cotton. Perfect. And I'm actually going to put some fabric storage, some cotton fabric storage here as well. All right, cotton storage. Yes, little boxes. We do love little boxes. Tons of cotton storage right there. And then we need to do the cotton auto loom, right? Get a couple of these things running. And we're actually going to have these running up top here. Let's rotate these so that way they're right at the top of the stairs. Actually, do I want them sitting right there? Maybe not, maybe not. I may end up showing you my build if possible. I'd be curious what you think. Yeah, if you want to show me the build, just you can either send me the save file, which is always possible. I'd be more happy to do that. Something I've been considering doing recently is going in and what is it? Having people send me their save files with their bases so I can like go through and like look at their bases in a video and like not critique it, but like here's what I like, here's what I would improve, this is what I would do, and kind of show that kind of that stuff. Or you can send me like screenshots on Reddit. That's always an option as well. I would love to see it. I would love to see it. We're gonna get rid of the hydroponic. Actually, we're gonna put cotton auto loom right over here. Just the one should be able to pump out cotton relatively quick. And we'll do another one right. That'll do. Hopefully no one gets stuck. They might. We'll see. If it becomes an issue, we'll move. All right. Let's have Beep go drop off these. Come on, open them up. There we go. I don't have. Oh yeah, they're in your bag. There we go. Beep's on engineering for right now. There we go. You mentioned in a short that Catelyn's forces try to reclaim the Empire after he dies. Do you think them partially doing this is even remotely possible, or just more skeleton insanity? I don't know. Catelyn's forces are pretty beefy. They're pretty beefy. I think that they would actually pose a pretty good chance, at least of becoming like a problem that is, you know, something that would have to be dealt with, like by like a unified force. It would require a unified force, right? Like I don't think the United Cities by themselves could take on Catelyn's forces. The only upside they have is that Catelyn's forces are finite. When they die, there's no replacing them. But they have some really beefy units, really high quality gear. I don't think they could effectively govern the land. I think they could take it, but I don't think they could hold it. I agree entirely. I think they would, when they say reclaiming the lands, it wouldn't be like taking it and governing over it. It would be like scorched earth, basically. I think they'd come out and they would like reclaim the land by killing everyone who's on it that's not part of their empire, which is none of them. Yeah. Yeah. We have a force of skeletons headed towards us. Yeah, there they are. Biggie. It would be a massacre. Yeah, I don't think it would be great. Would you like to see Kenshi to expand on some of the Kenshi survival aspects? I do. I don't think it should be too complex. right? Like I don't want to see things become too kind of like, what's the word? I don't want it to be like you have to worry about like an infection, you have to worry about like heat and temperature and all that stuff. But like I would like to see some of the survival aspects maybe expanded upon a little bit. Like maybe one of those things. I don't think all of those things would be a problem, right? Like I think that they could expand on limbs with like things like infection and temperature and stuff. I mean, with infection and stuff, or they could expand on and add things like temperature and like too hot, too cold. You have to dress appropriately. Like I think there are things that you could do to assist with it, and then it would kind of lend to the whole like different races blend better, you know, in certain ways. Like skeletons don't have to worry about the heat or the cold. I mean, don't have to worry about the heat, but maybe they're weak to the cold because you know, their joint. Maybe they get like an athletics debuff because of the um maybe they have to get like an athletics debuff because of the cold, like literally slowing down their ability to move and that kind of stuff. Whereas maybe hivers get, you know, aren't bothered by the cold, but the heat really messes with them. Like there's cool things they could do, but I don't think I think if they added too many of those individual things, it'd become problematic. And I think like some people are like, oh, you should add a thirst meter in addition to the hunger meter. But like I don't really, I think that's kind of redundant, and it's just one more meter to keep track of. It'd be kind of a pain in the ass, you know. I do think that like if they added like a thirst, it wouldn't be for the sake of like, oh, you need water to, um, you know, like you need water to survive. It's more like water can be used to cool you down, or like water counts towards your hunger. But I don't think you should like the fact that you can't drink grog, sake, or any of that stuff is crazy to me. Skeleton's not rusting is odd. It's probably either, yeah, like Sater said, it's probably either the alloy that they're made of, although we know that the alloy they're made of is primarily iron, so that is confusing. I think they use grog as a lubricant to keep like to keep the rust from becoming like to keep themselves from rusting and stuff. If I had to guess, that would be my guess. My guess has always been like that's because we know that like Kenshi makes Futurama references. We know that that's there. That's why what is it? That's why. So like Agnew is named after Spiro Agnew. I mean Agnew is named after Chris Hunt's motorcycle, and his motorcycle is named after Spiro Agnew from Futurama. You go to the Black Desert City, and they have all of the skeletons in there, and there's a shit ton of grog. The implication is like it's a Futurama Easter egg, because like you know the the robots in Futurama like live off of alcohol. That's how they power themselves. Um, they have to drink. So like we know that there's Futurama references in there and stuff, but my thought has always been that the grog is used to both fuel them or it's used as like a lubricant to keep themselves from rusting and becoming like all like you know degraded and that kind of stuff. That's always been my assumption on it. There's the southwest and the Fogmen. Where's the east? Where is the all direction Hive Master? That's the big question. That's the big question. Where is the Hive Master? Where is the big one? We've got the Western Hive, the Southern Hive, the Fogmen, who are kind of Western adjacent. They're kind of all encompassing depending on the circumstances. There is a Hive village up here, a distant Hive village that's connected to the Western Hive, but we have no idea. Maybe the Eastern Hive is on a foreign land that we just don't know about that we're going to find in Kenshi too. Who knows? Mayhaps. Mayhaps. That'd be pretty feckin' cool, man. Pretty feckin' cool. All right, who has the electrical components? Because I know that we had some. I thought I could have swore we had some. Yeah, see, you got some Brax. You got a bunch of them. Get in here and get these things running. What are you doing? Come on. Come on, man. We need at least one of those. We need at least one of these. What do we got? Two more? All right, let's... Oh, he's already throwing those in there. Okay. Need cotton on that one, which we'll get more of soon. Yeah, sure, we'll put on that one. Okay. What is it? Here's my thoughts on the order the hivers were made. Southern Hive, based on my theory from the last hive. Western Hive, made as a backup. What are we shooting at? Are they here yet? Oh, there it is. There's a droid. We got a droid, everybody. All right, everybody in the base. Everybody in the base. Passive, hold block. You guys get on in there. And then we're gonna shut the gates as we always do. Come on, up two, up two, up two, up two. Brax, come on, get the hell out of there. And then we lock the gate. And then we have our gunners do what our gunners do. Shoot that man. Put him down. Shoot him down. Just execute his ass. Just blast him. Start blasting. He'll bleed out eventually. Fantastic. Okay, what is it? There's like a southwest at Ogwen. Yep. He vanished because he got trapped in Mongrel. That's what it might be. They lost their queen. Close the gates, release the Kraken. That's what we're doing. Close the gates, release Kraken. I never really bought the theory that they were ever a full hive. Just dregs from the other two. I don't know. The sheer ability for them to reproduce and to seemingly be endless to me kind of supplies to me that they were probably their own hive. There's also dialogue that mentions that there used to be a hive there, which, like, could just be a rumor or conjecture thing, but I find it more likely that, like, there used to be a hive there, but people don't understand what happened to that hive. So I don't necessarily think I would agree that it was never like a full hive. I do think it was a hive at one point. Is it just that one skeleton? I imagine not all hivers came out normal from the queen. What do you mean? Whatever do you mean? Funny, just watching him perpetually try and open the gate. Hence beep. I mean, yeah, like there's some hivers that come out as defective, but yeah, some hivers do come out defective. We do know that. But I don't know if I necessarily would. I don't think it's in enough of a drove to cause such an issue where like it pop in. Do we know the lifespan of hivers? Unfortunately, we don't. Get your Rancor Saturday and Sunday to die. Oh, sad. I'm sorry. I don't know if you know this, but Saturday and Sunday were eaten by blood spiders. They're gone. Saturday and Sunday were eaten by blood spiders. I need to get new Rancors. They were eaten. They're no longer here. Yeah, I know. I'm sad about it too, Sad. I'm sorry. I'm sad about it too. So I think that the Hiver Queens are ageless. I think that the normal Hivers probably have either a shortened or average life expectancy, but probably shortened. But we have no idea. I have no way to prove that either way. There is a case to be made about the Hiver Queens potentially being ageless, however. Do you think the queens were handmade by the master? I think that the Hiver Queens were the successful byproducts of a lot of experimentation towards the end of the Second Empire. And I think that there was only a handful of them that were made successfully because it was done so egregiously, because it was such a rigorous and intensive process. That's why there's only a couple. And I think that it required the blending of man and machine. Not what I meant. Do you think the queens were handmade by the master? I guess I don't understand what you mean then. I guess I don't understand what you mean then. And we're back with the head trauma for the hive soldiers. All right, now we need someone to get to work on this cotton farm, which is going to require more. We could have you guys do it. You guys are Meridian and Zenith. We could have these two do it. No, I think I'd rather put these two out here on these turrets for now. Yeah. Rather put them out here on the turrets. I mean, like, individuals. Like, the race was made first with the queens being made after them to mass produce. No, I think the queens were made first. I think the queens were made first. And the hivers all came second. I think the queens were made with purpose, and they were made to produce hivers a specific way, and I think the queens came first. I think that the few queens there were the successful runs at making them, and there's only a couple because it was a very intensive process. But I think the queens came first. By the way, what's your favorite vanilla weapon? Ooh, I really like the Nodachi. And I don't know. A lot of people like the Falling Sun. I'm not a huge Falling Sun guy. Um, yeah, I think probably the Nodachi. I really like the Nodachi. I think it's really cool. Yeah. In Kenshi loading screens, there was a bunch of Hive prototypes, or was that from a mod? No, those are actual concept arts. Those are concept arts, which is actually that lends into my theory that the skeletons were that the skeletons of the Second Empire were the ones that had directed the creation of the Hybers, and they had done so trying to make humans be more like skeletons. Because there's a version of a skeleton that corresponds with a version of a Hyber. There's the normal skeletons look and act functionally the same as the hybrid drones. They look like them. They have long, tall heads. The soldier bots for the skeletons have like long rectangular heads, and the hive soldiers also have long rectangular heads. It's just one's front to back, one side to side. The managerial class of skeletons are the P4 units, and they have a rounded head and a higher intelligence. Well, the hive princes that act as the managerial class have a rounded head and higher intelligence. And then in the concept art, you also saw what I think was supposed to be Catlon, where it's a skeleton that has like the lion's mane, the prong sticking out of its head, and I think it was originally supposed to be Catlon, and those are supposed to be like a king skeleton, like a really high level skeleton, and they look exactly like the queens do. They have the same prongs, the whole nine. Skeletons and hybers just function very similarly to one another, and I don't think that's coincidence. They're made very, very similar to each other, very, very similar to each other. Can you please send me that Catlon pic? Yeah, I mean, I can send it to you. If you, yeah, I can send it to you in a little while. If you also just Google Kenshi like skeleton load, like the skeleton loading screens, you can see it. It's the one where what is it? There's like a red cloak and it's like flowing off of it, and then it's got the skeleton mane and stuff. It's right there, so you can Google it. But if not, if you can't find it, I'll send it to you after the stream on Discord. Do it now. Okay. Let me know if you find it. Okay, we need someone to work the field here. We're gonna have you do it. This is your job now. This is what you do. And you also work the well. Work the well. Work the well. What are we shoot? Oh, we're shooting at that guy. Shooting at that guy. I don't know why we're who he is. Rogue sniper droid. We're gonna miss every shot. Don't worry about it. Don't even fucking worry about it. Don't worry about it. Why are our gunner droids? What are they doing? I feel like we're. Are they up here? Okay, they are up here. They just weren't showing for some reason. Okay, all right. Catlon was supposed to be a hive. No, I don't think Catlon was supposed to be a hive. My point is that my point is that the skeletons are. I mean, the hivers are seemingly modeled after skeletons in their physical design and how they function, and their individual tasks. Like each individual version of a skeleton has something that they were designed to do. Soldier bots were soldiers. The normal skeletons, like the ones that we're familiar with, like Burn, they were designed as workers. P4s were designed as managers. And there's a concept art skeleton that looks like it was supposed to be like a leader skeleton because it looks exactly like the Hyber Queens do. They all look like their corresponding Hybers, and they also function similarly to their corresponding Hybers. That's my point. That's all. I think the skeleton art concept races are canon but extinct. That could be true. That could be true. Are there any skeleton slaves? I mean, I don't know, actually. Possibly? I don't know. Was Catlon supposed to be a cat? And if so, why are there no legitimate cats in Kenshi? Do the residents on Kenshi even know the existence of cats? I have no idea. No, he was not supposed to be a cat, but I have no idea. I think I might have found it, but I'm 50-50%. I mean, if it's got like a long red shoulder like cloak here. You know what? Actually, let me see if I can just pull it up. Let me just pull it up. Kenshi skeleton concept. Okay, that's the one. Link in new window. Right here. This boy right here. He looks very similar to the way that the queens look. In Kenshi. Like he's got the mane, he's got the little pointed out prongs and all that stuff. Like it looks like that. And the idea is I think this was the original concept design for Catlon. So that's all. And who are you guys shooting at? What's going on over here? Oh, is it cannibals? It's a cannibal, right? Yeah, scrawny Cthulhian cannibal. Them cannibals! Right, you make water, you make the wawa. Produce the wawa. I need to get some copper. That's what I need to do. Beep, pop on over to this here copper node. I think it's up here, actually. Because my man needs some copper. Do you think there will be races in Kenshi 2 that went extinct by Kenshi 1? I mean, probably, but I mean, that's hard for me to say with certainty. I feel like it would make sense for them to introduce, like, races that maybe have gone extinct or, like, new races. But it's one of those things where it's, like, it's really hard for me to say with certainty on stuff like that because, like, we just don't know. We do know that we're going to get concrete answers on, like, the origin of the hives. We know that we're going to get concrete answers on a lot of different things. But whether or not there's going to be, like, other races and stuff, that's hard to say. I do think we're going to get other variants of hivers. There's going to be a lot of, like, fleshing out with the hivers in this run. That's kind of the goal. Yeah, would be cool if there were a few KLRs left. Yeah, that'd be really cool. That would be really, really cool. Dude, Shark's on a mission, man. I don't know what he's going after right now, but he's on a mission. Look at this boy. Tall and ass. Got his gun out. He's ready to go. He's moving. He's on the move. He's on the move, and he doesn't give a single shit. You would think the devs would introduce something in Kenshi 2 to nerf skeletons in terms of gameplay, as they're generally considered overpowered in terms of gameplay. I mean, yes, but no. They're overpowered in some ways, and then in other ways, they're, you know, they are at a detriment. I mean, if you take it from a non, like power gaming perspective, like if you're, like... So, like, Frankie will tell you the strongest race that you can probably get is the Soldier Bot. And he's right, it is the Soldier Bot. But also, you know, how much, like, the min-max thing and the all that stuff, like, is that necessarily the way that it was designed, that they were thinking about it when they designed it? It's kind of hard to say, you know? And that's true. Them being overpowered is balanced to make them, balanced to not being incredibly rare. That's also true. You know, the number of skeletons is finite. These skeletons have been around since... Jesus Christ, dude, Shark is... He's fucking cleaning house right now. You see this shit? The number of skeletons is finite. They've all been around since the First Empire, since the fall of the First Empire. Like, it's the idea is that the skeletons that are left are you know, they're survivors. In one way or another, they're survivors. Yeah. So I don't know. It's yeah. I don't know. Yeah, dude, Shark is cleaning house right now. My dude doesn't give no shits. No shits. Not a single one. All right, we're going melee. Oh, nope, he's going to unload. All right, we're going in with the knife. Another separatist holdout. How many of these are they going to send towards me? Jeezums. Oh, the first one was just them coming in to be like, hey, we're coming for you. This one's going to be the actual force to attack our base, so we've actually got people coming towards us now. My man. My man. Skeleton weaknesses are not shown on paper, like starting out as a skeleton is rough because one of the early major factions wants to kill them on sight. Not only that, early on, getting repaired as a skeleton is tough because you need, you know, you can either get the antique ones, you know, the genuine authentic repair kits that are really shit, only have 100 charges, and they cost a ludicrous amount of money, or you can save up and get the real ones that actually will give you, like, decent repairs and last a decent amount of time, but it's expensive. Like, the level of expenses that it takes to heal your skeletons is a lot harder. So early game, starting out, unless you know what you're doing, like, later on after you've played Kenshi for a while, it gets really tough to like handle that early on. After you get past that initial stage and you get one or two repair kits on you, it becomes easier. But that first run as a brand new skeleton without a repair kit, it gets tough. It's tough. Hell yeah. Shark is not messing around. He takes the security of his fortress very serious. Very serious. Do you think there will be at least a greater skeleton to everyone else ratio? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I don't think it's going to be like a massive skeleton ratio. Like I don't think the skeletons are going to like outnumber the humans, if that's what you mean. No. But I do think that there is going to be a good number of skeletons. I think they're going to be more common in Kenshi too. Do you think they'll ever be able to make skeletons again, even if it takes like 1,000 years? I don't know. That's hard to say. Whether or not they can is a different question as whether or not they will. I think that eventually the skeletons will be largely extinct, and I think that at a certain point, the ones that are not extinct, I don't know if they even want to make new skeletons, right? Like, look at the history the skeletons have. Do you think they would want to? Like, I mean, they're pretty, they don't really feel good about their actions in the past. Meridian, where's your weapon, man? What the hell is this? Where's your weapon? Why you do this? No. No, unacceptable. You need to go get a gun. Crazy stuff, man. Run on in there, get a gun. What do we got? I need something that takes energy cells. Power cells, energy cells. I need something good that takes energy cells. Of course, I don't think I have a single one. Nope, it's all shit. Why you do this? You do this. Okay, what does everyone have? Does anyone have a gun that's not complete crap? That would be ideal. Spare guns laying around, anybody? No, not really. Okay, well, I guess he's gonna have to give him that. And this standard carbine is the best one I got. It is. That'll do, I suppose. That'll do. What is it? Thinking of doing a droid takeover on Kenshi like the original HK droids planned on. That'd be fire. Like 1 in 50 instead of 1 in 100. Yeah, I think that's a better ratio. Sad Neil ends up being the last surviving skeleton. Wouldn't that be sad? My lord, wouldn't that be sad? Maybe they want to make new members of their kind unburdened by the sins of their past to allow a fresh perspective from their way of thought. I think that requires too much introspection on the skeletons' parts. Skeletons, one of their biggest issues is that they have a hard time letting things go, and the perception of time is complete shit. That's why the skeletons in the Black Desert City apologize repeatedly, even though like it's been thousands of years and humanity has completely forgotten about what they did, but they keep apologizing because to them, it's not quite as dramatic as like experiencing all of time simultaneously. Like it's not like some like weird metaphysical like I'm a god concept, I exist outside of time, right? But it's got to be very much like, what is 1,000 years to a being that doesn't age, also to a being that holds information and memories like data? They're not, because I think people tend to attribute too much humanity to the skeletons in the sense that like they think that their minds and their skills, their minds, their thoughts, all that stuff functions like human beings, and they do have sentient thought, but they're still data. They're not reacting on a physiological from a physiological standpoint or a biological standpoint. They're reacting like machines. All of their thoughts, their feelings, their emotions, all that stuff, it's all stored in their system. It's all data, and it never really goes away, no matter what they do. Like they're always if they're pissed off at you, that anger that the resentment they have towards you will always exist inside of their data, and they have a hard time letting that stuff go because they have to literally purge it out. It's interesting. It's interesting. Emotions are mostly chemically based, and they can't make them make or store said chemicals. Yeah, I think that their emotions are simulated. Again, they're AI. It's simulated emotion. But it's simulated or not, it's still real. The other thing is that like our emotions are physical and are physical and based on chemicals, but like that's not necessarily the only way that emotions can come about. Emotions are effectively just a reactionary preference to thought to event, you know? Like if something bad happens that we perceive as bad, it makes us sad. But if something the same thing happens that somebody else perceives as good, it makes them happy, right? Like emotions are just the response. How responses are emotions are just responses calculated to events. How we choose to respond and perceive events. They're doing the exact same thing. They're just doing it using data, but it's all simulated and creative, just like their consciousness, right? Like it's not. It's just a different form of consciousness, which is partly why I'm like people tend to attribute um, too much humanity to the skeletons. They think that they function and think and process the same way. And I'm not saying they're not alive. I'm not saying they're not, people or sentient, but they're not human, right? They don't function the same way as humans. They don't function the same way as organic living beings. They are egocentric. They are incredibly they're incredibly like egocentric creatures. They're also really just generally unstable when you really think about it, because again, they can't let things go. Like it's just it doesn't work that way. They can't just like work past it. That those emotions are in they're being processed constantly. They're in their system. That's why they have to purge them out. How many reset cycles do you think the average skeleton has gone through? Oh God, I think it depends on how long the reset cycles go. We can assume that resets happen every couple of 100 years. So let's be generous. Let's be generous. Let's say that a skeleton can go. What's a good number? Probably we'll say 1,500 years, or we'll say 1,000 years without a reset. Okay, they can go up to 1,000 years before they start to really break down or go nuts. I think 1,000 years is a good number. Maybe even a little bit more, but I think 1,000 years is a good number. So we'll say they can go 1,000 years without a reset. Well, we can assume that they've all reset between 5 and 10 times. Between 5 and 10 times, probably, give or take, Sure, some have probably reset more than others, but I think between 5 and 10 times is probably a good estimate. Can you imagine aquatic threats in Kenshi 2 and how much of the game will take place on water? I don't know. It depends if we get boats. What happened to the broken ones? Those are First Empire skeletons. Fun fact. You're talking about the airbots? Are you talking about the airbots in the Black Desert City, or are you talking about the broken ones that are like wandering around in like the floodlands and stuff like that? Let me clarify. Because if you're talking about the airbots, those are actually First Empire skeleton. Those are not second. Those are first. I mean, like when I say First Empire, I mean like they've been stuck inside that. The airbots are the ones that I'm talking about have been stuck inside that reprogramming facility since the First Empire. They've been there that whole time. As for the broken those in the Black Desert City, I think the broken ones. I think those ones are ones that took damage during the Age of Chaos, that nuclear winter, that ice age. I think they took damage during the Age of Chaos. I think that their parts have started to wear down. I think that their issue is beyond reset. What is it? Dak and Quinn make the comment that like one of them got bashed, he got hit in the head during the Age of Chaos, and it messed with his brain, which makes the AI core is probably in their head. But he got whacked in the dome and it messed up his parts. I think that some of them are literally just like their parts are fucked up. They're old. They're old and fucked up. Aside from the processing and the reset issue, I think they're just fucked up. Like their parts are messed up. They took damage to their AI core. They're literally broken. They're not in need of reset. They're not insane. They're broken. So that's my thought on them. Hey Artemis, what's going on? I wonder if the resets will wear down their hard drive like each time they have less room. I don't think the issue is space. I've talked about this before. I don't think the issue is they have to reset because of space. I think the issue is they have to reset because of processing capability, right? Like, the way that the emotions and the reset work is, and the reason why it resets their skills, their emotions and stuff, but not their memory, is because it's not about storing the data. It's about the fact that the data that they have is constantly being processed. because it can't go anywhere. It's data, right? And feelings don't just disappear. For us, we have physiological responses to deal with them. Our blood pressure increases. We're happy, we smile. We're sad, we cry. Face can turn red. Blood flow increases. Heart rate increases. Blood pressure can rise and flow. Like, we have physiological, biological responses to help output those emotions. Skeletons have none of those. They're a suspended consciousness inside of a metal body with no senses beyond, beyond thought, and they have no, even their sense of sight is kind of, I guess it's comparable to ours in the sense that it's data being translated by our brain, or in their case a computer, but still, like, they have no sensation. They have no physical sensation of touch. They have no taste. They have none of that stuff. It's all suspended consciousness, right? And when they feel things, they have to process that data because they are a computer. They're not human. We can't attribute humanity to a machine that functions on a completely different like wavelength, right? So they have to they have to process all of that data, but they have nowhere to output it. So the data is constantly being processed in the background. And that's why when they start to go insane, when they don't reset, they become obsessive compulsive. They become obsessed with a specific thing. They become emotionally unstable and erratic. It's because they're processing hundreds of years of buildup on thoughts. And the most prevalent thought becomes the one that they are processing the most. And that becomes like their entire identity. That's why the Armor King's obsessed with being, a merchant. That's why Catelyn's obsessed with his paranoia. That's why Elder's obsessed with his hatred of humanity. Tin Fist with killing slavers, because those were the thoughts that they had, the feelings and the thoughts that they had the most over the time that they should have, that they were building up those emotions. And now they are being processed the most. The problem is that over time, those emotions build. All that stuff's being processed. Their thoughts, their feelings, their emotions, who they are, their identity, their skills, they all exist and are constantly being processed. And eventually, it's like trying to play Kenshi with thousands of tabs open on the background. And they start to overheat, and their CPUs start to literally break down and melt and wear apart and burn up because they're processing so much. So it's not an issue of like their hard drives having less room or being able to not store things. Their storage is not really an issue. We don't have any reason to think that their storage in it is an issue. The issue is they don't have the ability to process 1,000 years of buildup continuously. They have to purge it, or else they'll burn out. They'll burn out. They can't continuously process for 1,000 years. It's too much. It's too much. They have to purge it out. Gotta close them tabs. Exactly. Where are those skeletons coming? Are they almost here yet? Or are they here yet? There was a bunch of them coming. Oh yeah, they're over by the Cannibal Capital now. Cool. Got our Jedi. Savage, I think we're in a position now where you can get back to work, my guy. Alright, let's make a new lightsaber and see how that goes. See how it goes. Old Republic, double-bladed lightsaber. We'll see how it goes. He's got the materials. He's got the skill. He can do this. He can do it. MK2. Is that what we're making right now? Is it the best we can do right now? No, that's not, come on, motherfucker. There we go. If you isolate yourself like the Armor King, they last longer. I mean, the Armor King has definitely gone insane, but probably, like, isolation probably helps to a degree. Depending on where you're isolated and what your situation is. But, semi-isolation helps, but it's also kind of implied that the Armor King hasn't been fully isolated for the entire time. He went to the Ashlands and grabbed thralls, so can't be that isolated. I think fixing the airbots would probably be mentally fresh as skeletons if they could be fixed. Oh, dude, I probably. If Kenshi 2 is in the First Empire, maybe we'll be able to see other versions of the Armor King and Tin Fist. Well, Second Empire, not the First, but yes, I see what you mean. We'll be able to see, the Armor King, Tin Fist, Catelyn, when they're not insane, all of that stuff. But we get to see skeletons that are, not in their prime, but like in a state where they are. Well, so here's the thing: they're going to be actually to be honest with you, the skeletons are probably going to be even more depressed during Kenshi 2 than they are during Kenshi 1 because it takes place right as the Empire was like really collapsing towards the end of the Second Empire. So the Second Empire is still around, but they are losing territory. Cities are seceding from the Empire. They're no longer listening to Catlan, all of that stuff. And as a byproduct of that, a lot of the skeletons who had revered Catlan as the savior, as a hero, decided to put themselves into exile because they had failed humanity not once, but twice. They tried to kill them all once. They led to an ice age, the regression of humanity and technology. They effectively doomed their own kind because skeletons can't be produced anymore. They tried to fix it with Catlan, and then Catlan became a tyrannical dictator and enthralled his own people. And a lot of them exiled themselves to the Black Desert City because at the time of Kenshi 2, the Black Desert City would have very likely been primarily underwater. Like the Deadlands would have been primarily underwater. So instead of, um, traversable slope of slog and stuff like that, this would have been a giant fucking acid lake. And this would have been an island in the middle of an acid lake that they would have gone to as exile because they're afraid of their crimes and all that stuff. So. A lot of the skeletons will probably be honestly more depressed because of the fresh wounds that had just been inflicted on their egos. Stobe and the other steel giants are still active in that era. Oh, no. Stobe and them will have been very much gone still. They've been gone for a long time by the Kenshi 2. Kenshi 2 takes place roughly 1,000 years in the past. 1,000 years back, so right at the tail end of the Second Empire. Whereas the First Empire is anywhere between like 5 to 10,000 years back, depending. Like it's a long ways back. It's a long ways back. Aerial threats could be an interesting inclusion in Kenshi 2. Yeah, they did say that they wanted to make range, not more of a focus, but like make range more viable and increase the usage and focus of range. Aerial threats could certainly do that because range would be kind of quintessential for dealing with them. No, Stobe and the Behemoths will still be very much dead. They'll still be very much dead. Unfortunately, I hate to burst everyone's bubble on that. But no, they'll be gone. Who is shooting and who is fucking missing apparently because Jesus. Where's everyone aiming at? They're all aiming straight over this way. What's over this way? What are we even shooting at? Is there like a cannibal body over here? Or okay, yeah, there's a cannibal over there. That's... Okay. How big of a difference do you think there are between the oldest and the youngest skeletons? Oh, it could be a couple decades to a couple hundred, maybe. I mean, it depends. We don't know how long the First Empire was, and we also don't know. I mean, that's a really tough one. We don't know how long the First Empire lasted. We don't know how many of the skeletons came out of the First Empire. How many of the original, older skeletons came out of the First Empire, what the retention rate was, like how long after they were made did they decommission them? Like, we don't know a lot of stuff. It's hard to say. Do you think the devs are going to retcon stuff in Kenshi 2? We know they're going to retcon stuff in Kenshi 2. Chris and the team actually have already said that openly. Chris said in an AMA on Reddit a couple of years ago that we need to expect retcons to happen because the lore of Kenshi is very fluid. And, Kenshi 1 was written at a time when they had lower access to assets, all of that stuff. Like, there was a lot of stuff that happened as a byproduct of convenience, like certain assets coming in, stuff like that are going to end up getting retconned. The story was written basically after Kenshi was made. The story was written before they released the map. They released it in chunks. Like there was a lot that came into it where the writing wasn't all done at once. So there will be retcons. What retcons do I think are going to happen, or what retcons are going to happen for sure? I would almost guarantee that these Shek are going to be retconned in the sense that they're supposed to, according to the timeline, look almost indistinguishable from humans. And I don't think that's going to be the case because the Shek are so intrinsic to Kenshi's brand. They have such a loyal following. They have such a dedicated fan base, the Shek do, that I think that replacing the Shek's models with like one that is maybe less, even if they went like halfway and they made them look less like halfway point between Shek and humans. Um, yeah, I don't think they would. I don't think they would do that. I'll go back when Sayer gets back from his explanation. I mean, from his ad. I'll wait for you, buddy. I'll wait for you. No, you didn't miss out on anything because I stopped. I stopped when you said that you were in an ad, so I waited until you got back. I waited until you got back. Okay, so I think that the Shek, to circle back, I think the Shek are going to be retconned because the Shek are, according to the timeline, likely supposed to look almost indistinguishable from humans. Um, and then they evolved over time into the Shek that we know them. I think that the Shek have become so intrinsic to Kenshi's um like identity that people love them so much and the way that they look so much that they can't make them look halfway human. They can't even make them look halfway, right? Like they can't make them look like. I think that the Juggernauts are a decent halfway point in the Juggernaut mod where they have like they look human but they have like the bone like markings almost like they have like vitiligo on their skin, but in the shape of the bones that the Shek have. But I think even that would not be good enough. The Shek are just intrinsic to Kenshi's identity. I don't think that they're going to do it. Low key, I don't really like the Shek much. Like everyone acts like they're a big deal, and then most of the time I barely interact or think about them. I think the Shek Kingdom is meh, but the Shek themselves are my favorite race on Kenshi, to be honest with you. Um, I think their race is really, really cool. I think the concept of them is really cool. Like people with bone like armor and stuff. That's really fucking cool. Um, I just yeah, I like them. I like them quite a bit. What I don't necessarily care for is the fact that they're so popular in the community primarily for gooner reasons. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I'm just not a huge goon. It's not really my thing, but that's fine. Not a huge goon. Not really into the goon. But that's what it is. It is what it is. Greenlanders all the way, indomitable human spirit. We do love that. We do love that. I hope they make a Beep-like character for the fans. I hope that they make a character that is as beloved as Beep, but I don't think that they should make a Beep-like character. I think that that would be, it's kind of like when you have, think about it like sequels, right? Like one of the things that really fucking annoys me about sequels, especially with like comedies and stuff, is a lot of times the sequel will take all the jokes that worked in the first movie and they'll just repackage them and do the same fucking bits, you know? Um, and I hope it's one of my like least favorite tropes because it means that the movie can't stand on its own. It's got to use the funniest bits from the first one to try and garner that same feeling, that same laugh. And everyone's like, "Oh, it's an homage. It's so funny." I'm like, "It's lazy. It's lazy, is what it is. It's not a callback. It's not an homage. It's not an Easter egg. It's not. It's lazy. It's fucking lazy writing." Um, I don't believe that doing that. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. It's just lazy writing. So I hope that they make a character that is as beloved as Beep. I don't think that they should make a Beep-like character. Um, yeah. We need less Shek Rule 34 and more skeletons. At least they almost exist. Dude, I just God, man. Some of the Shek posts that get made, even in the Discord servers, like sometimes in the art section, like I'll pop in there, I'm like, oh wow, these are really cool fan art. Never mind, that's it's goonery. It's goonery. The Shek goonery in particular, the Shek and Hybrid goonery is just too much, man. It's just too much. It's too much. Oh man, the best way to carry forward a working concept in the past, I feel, is to subtly reference it but not reuse. Exactly, exactly. I agree. So who's winning the war between the Holy Nation and the United Cities? In a straight up conflict, if they were to meet on an open field and duke it out old school, probably the United Cities. The United Cities has better longevity in terms of like they're harder to kill because of the independent city states controlled by daimios that are all under the rule of different under the rule of the emperor, but it's actually the shogunate in the form of Longan, but or the Traders Guild, I guess, in this example. But um In a straight up fight, the United States would probably win. They're more widespread. They have better numbers. Their gear is a little bit more protective. Like probably the United Cities, but I don't think that the United Cities would be able to invade the Holy Nation territory at the same time, if that makes sense. Like, I think in a straight up fight, the Holy Nation would lose to the United Cities, but I don't think the United Cities could take the Holy Nation's territory, if that makes sense. I think the home field advantage, the lack of multiple threats on their own soil would make taking the Holy Nation territories way harder. Um, yeah, I don't think that they would be able to take Holy Nation territory, but I don't think that they could win an open conflict. Uh, the way that it is. So, nope, no. But I do think between the two of them, who's going to win? Again, I don't necessarily know if there's going to be a victor, but um, yeah, I think the long term, it's going to be like because the war is profitable right now. Um, but how long is that going to be the case? Because if you look at the map, the United States have lost ground, but the Holy Nation is also fighting two wars simultaneously. Well, I mean, yes, but no, they're not really fighting a war against the Shek anymore. The Shek are kind of pulled back. It's more like it's a stalemate. It's a war of attrition between them. They're not even really fighting anymore. Like they want to fight, but they're not. The fighting hasn't really started yet. Hasn't really picked back up again. So, um, do you think there will be an early version of the Holy Nation? Absolutely. Absolutely. I think there's going to be an early version of the Holy Nation. Ah, Jesus Christ. Fucking bots. Hold on. Gotta deal with the bots, everybody. Only Bear was here. Oh my God. More. Dude. Worst part about Twitch. I don't ever have this issue on YouTube, which is really funny. I never have the bot issue on YouTube. It's only ever on Twitch. Okay. What was it? Long game to Holy Nation due to local food production. Maybe if the United Cities could retake Bast. Yeah, it would require them to retake Bast, but they also, like, I don't know. It's tough. It's really tough. There's a lot of things to consider. I personally don't think either side is really going to win. I think it's just going to be like I think the fighting's going to go on for a while, and then eventually it's going to stop. Like I don't necessarily think that anyone's going to win. The Shek and the United Cities have officially called a truce. That's true. That's true. The Shek and the UC have called a truce. The Holy Nation and the United Cities have the Holy Nation and the United Cities are I mean the Holy Nation and the Shek are still actively in war against each other, but the fighting has ceased just because they the Shek pulled back. The Holy Nation seems really focused on one war at a time, which is the other thing. Like you don't see the Holy Nation invading the Fog Islands to deal with the Fogman threat. You don't see the Holy Nation headed down south to invade the Shek territories. Like people make the comment all the time that the Holy Nation is fighting a war on 3 or 4 fronts, so they're going to lose. Firstly, the fight against the Flotsam Ninja is not a war. You can't call that a war. It's not. It's a splinter faction that's interested in reformation, not destroying the Holy Nation. They want to get rid of the Phoenix. That's not a war. They're not actively sending troops out and fighting against the Flotsam Ninja. Like that's not a war. And the Flotsam Ninja are fighting in the shadows. Are they a problem? Sure, but it's not a war. The Fog Islands, they have one base that holds the line there, but they're not actively going out fighting Fogmen. That's not a war. They're holding the line. And the Fogmen don't seem to be actively headed outward, but like it's it's there. The Shek, they're currently in a cold war against the Shek. They're not actively going down and fighting the Shek right now, right? Like they're not sending troops down there. All of their focus is on holding the line in their surrounding territories and pushing into the United States territory, specifically in Basra now. Like, they're not fighting a war on 4 fronts. They have enemies on 4 fronts. They're fighting a war on 1. They're not fighting a war on 4 fronts. Like that's an oversimplification of the situation that makes it seem like, oh, the Holy Nation are totally going to lose right now because they're fighting a war on 4 fronts. Well, when you say it like that, yeah, I can see why you would think that, but they're not fighting a war on 4 fronts. They're holding, They're holding the line on, it's a Cold War on 3 fronts, or they're aware of their enemies on 3 fronts, and they're fighting an actual war on 1. They're only really fighting 1 war right now. The Flotsam Ninja are guerrilla revolution / uprising. Yeah, they're reformists that are interested in killing the Phoenix. They're a guerrilla uprising. They're not fighting a war. What scale of threat would it take for the Shek and Holy Nation to ally? Oh man, it would have to be. Imagine. I think this is crazy. It would have to be the Second Empire. Like this, if the Second Empire Exiles came out, the first faction that they're going to take down is the United Cities. Right? They're going to go up and they're going to proclaim their territory from the United Cities, and it would be a war against the Second Empire. I think that in a perfect world, a war against the Second Empire, if Catlan were to move all of his forces out and take down the United Cities, I think the Holy Nation, I don't think they would ally with the Shek Kingdom, but I think their war would come to a screeching halt, and both armies, like both factions, would be focused on fighting the Second Empire. I think they would stop entirely. Yeah, I think that would be the only thing that I could consider causing like a war between the Shek and the Holy Nation to cease, and then to like become anything semblance of an ally, you know. So how do you think the early Holy Nation will be more open? Do you think the early Holy Nation will be more open Holy Nation like? Hold on, I'm sorry. How do you think the early Holy Nation will be more open than the Holy Nation are? I mean, I think that the Holy Nation in Kenshi 2 will be a little bit more open, but I don't think they're going to be called the Holy Nation. Like I think they're going to be whatever the Holy Nation's original set was. Frankie, welcome, my guy. Welcome. Thank you for popping in with the homies. We're in a very deep, intricate lore discussion right now. We're on a lore question and answer quick fire. So if anyone has any Kenshi lore questions, now's the time because I'm on a roll right now. I'm on a rant, everybody. Yeah. So yeah, I think that the Holy Nation that we see in the second in Kenshi 2 is going to be a lot more tolerant. I think they're going to be very distrustful of other races and of skeletons in particular. And I think they're going to be isolationists for the most part, but I do think that they're going to be less extreme. They're not going to be religious extremists. I think they're going to be isolationists. Yeah, that's my thought on that. But I do think that they will be a lot even more welcoming to humans in particular than they are now. I think they may even in some ways. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. It also depends on how far gone they've been. They may not even have an enemy against skeletons yet, right? Like when they first fled. If you follow my thought process, that the first Phoenix for the Holy Nation, the one that freed them, right? The original Phoenix was actually a skeleton. We may be in a situation where what is going to become the Holy Nation is being led by a skeleton, and maybe they're not opposed to all skeletons yet. We don't know. It's hard to say. It's either food or for the United Cities again, or agricultural basin for the Holy Nation. Indeed. It's really going to come down to Bast for that war. I agree. Do you think the lack of flowers in Kenshi is because there are no Kenshi bees? I don't know. I've never really thought about it. Maybe. There are flies in Kenshi. I imagine there's probably bees too. There are flies. We know there's flies. I imagine there's bees too. I think the landscape is just really, really tough. A lot of arid areas, that kind of stuff. Who is actually the strongest fighter in Kenshi lore, Catlan? In lore, Catlan. I have no doubt in lore it's Catlan. Catlan wasn't just, I think me, Frankie, and Pato talked about this in the podcast last week. In lore, I think Catlan is the strongest, right? Like he wasn't just a political leader. He wasn't just a political leader. He was a hero. He was a martial hero. He was a political hero. He was he was a hero in every way. He was the greatest of the skeletons. He was a philosopher. He was a leader. He was a warrior. Like, he was the guy. He was him, right? Catlan was John Kenshi. And, that's why it devastated the skeleton so bad when he fell from grace and lost his mind. But I think that in terms of the lore, who the greatest fighter in Kenshi is, I think that it's Catlan followed by Tin Fist. And then I think after that's probably the Bugmaster. And then I think after the Bugmaster, it's Asada, then Igor. And I think it's I think after the Bugmaster, it's probably either Igor or Asada. And then after that, it's I think the Phoenix is probably the weakest of the major ones. Anyway, gotta go give Maple some attention. Have a great stream, man. Have a good one, Frankie. Thank you for stopping in. I appreciate you as always for the raid, my guy. And then Beep, and then naturally Beep, and then naturally Beep. But no, I think it's Catlon. I think in lore it's Catlon. There's a reason that Catlon was the hero of the Skeletons. There's a reason that he was the hero of the Second Empire, and there's a reason that the Bugmaster's raising an army to take him down. Aside from the fact that he's surrounded by all of his thralls, the Bugmaster himself is a terrifying force to deal with, and the Bugmaster knows it. The Bugmaster knows it. This is he's a beast. The man's a beast. All right, we got incoming. Incoming. Except for you two, you guys stay out here. All workers, head on in. We're gonna put you guys on hold. Everybody get in there, and then we're going to close up shop. We've got skeletons inbound. We got droids inbound. They're coming. They are a-coming. Come on, guys. Perfect. Close that door right. Oh, no. I think beep is fine. Hold on. Workers, you guys turn your job off. Get back in here. We could probably leave. Nah, we'll let them in. We'll let them in. Open the door. Have you two head in. Head on in, you two. All right, now we close the door. All right, skeletons are coming. We got a bunch of droids that are popping in. I don't think it's a ton, but there is droids over here. Oh, they got into a fight with Cthulhu Shadows. Are these the droids? Oh, there was supposed to be an army of droids coming. Where'd they go? Are they dead? We kill them all? Who knows? Does it make sense from a lore perspective that skeletons can improve strength and toughness? From a lore perspective, no, not really. Toughness, maybe, I guess, but from a lore perspective, no, not really. Toughness even doesn't really make sense because it's kind of believed that the skeletons used to have like an outer shell, that they used to have more armor coating on them. They weren't just like the bare exposed bits and bobs. They had like an armor coating. And so it doesn't really make sense that they can improve strength and toughness, but I imagine that for gameplay reasons, it's there. You know, it's got to be done for it. It's like how the resets were almost indefinitely conceived because they needed to justify the fact that the skeletons could all be thousands of years old and not be absolutely fucking beasted. Every one of them. Like the idea of skeletons having to reset or they go insane was born from the idea that they needed to justify why there's characters like Sadneil who have zero stats, you know, have crap stats. Oh, dude, my allergies are so bad. All the snow is melting and it's like good weather here and my nose is so fucking itchy. My God. Yeah, the resets were originally designed out of game as a way to explain why skeletons can have bad stats and why you can recruit skeletons that have bad stats. And so, like, with that being said, I think that that's just one of those things where it's like, this is here for gameplay reasons, you know? Like, we already took away hunger, but, like, who would recruit a skeleton character if they couldn't increase their strength or toughness at all? You know, it doesn't make any sense. That'd be poo. That'd be not very great. Not very good. Nobody would play him. Nobody would play him. So that's all I think that is. I don't think that one should be taken into consideration too much from like a lore perspective or anything like that. I think that's just a thing that happens for gameplay reasons. I was about to do a thing and now I don't remember what it was. What was I about to do? I was about to do a thing. Oh, core. What do I need to level up this? I need, I think, one more ancient schematic. I have 4 in there. Oh, no. I need a handful of them. I need a handful of schematics. Yavi Power Crystal. What does this do? Faint glow. You can feel the immense power with it through the force associated. The carrier of the crystal has tortured and killed countless force sensitive. The crystal feels... almost feels relief in your hands. Darker light comfort can be found in it. More strong finder minds. I wonder what that is. I have no idea. All right, I need 4 more ancient science books, ancient research schematics. I'm certain there's some sort of carnivorous meat bee or something. Do the thing. Yeah, I think that there's I think there's got to be bees. Like it's got to make sense that there's bees. You know, it's a light side mission item. Oh well, that's part of it. You know, that'd be explain why I don't know what it is. I'm at war with the light side. Do you sometimes build bases based on headcanon and OC stuff? Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, I do. Absolutely, I do. Yeah, absolutely. I do it all the time. Several of my earlier lore shorts that I did, not my lore shorts, my building shorts, my like building tips and tricks. That was what I was doing, was building bases based on headcanon and stuff like that. I did one that I really liked. Right up here. I did one of my favorite bases I've ever built. I built right here. I made the Black Gate from Mordor, like the Black Gate from Lord of the Rings, but it was instead the Black Gate for the cannibals. And my headcanon for it was that it was a base that was originally founded during the Second Empire by the Hydraulic Knights. It was abandoned, and then it was later reclaimed by a group of cannibal hunters. And they used that as like the Black Gate between the last gate, the border, the bastion between the cannibals and the rest of Kenshi, the civilized society. And that was their mission. And they ended up evolving into kind of like a Knights of the Nine deal. So I had a bunch of people that were decked out in like Crusader armor, and I had the leader who was literally Pelennor Whitestrake using the Knights of the Nine armor mod. So I made like a subset of cannibal hunters that had become like religious paladins basically, but not in the Holy Nation way, in more of like the anti-cannibal paladins way. I thought it was cool as hell. I think the isolation is a way to prevent them from going mad. That's why Catlan is alone, Armor King, and Burn. I'm sure that the isolation probably helps because they can kind of just sit there and ruminate instead of like adding to their issues or having new experiences that they have to process and deal with that become problematic. They can kind of just ruminate on the existing ones. I'm sure it probably slows stuff down. Probably makes things a little easier for them. So that dude, take him down. Take him down. Damn droids. I thought we were supposed to be attacked by separatists. What happened to that? I've yet to see them. No, they're gone now. Okay, well, we can just hop back to that, I guess. All workers resume duty. Resume duty. Cannibals. All right, so we are getting moved on this. Happening. Power is so fucking slow right now, though. What is this missing? Oh, is it just wind? Why is it not spinning? That's weird. Oh, it needs to finish being built. Somebody get over here and finish building this fucking thing. We need power, guys. We need power. My current gut base is based on my group being a cult that worships the birds flying above the gut like condors that feast on the dead. That's beautiful. So recruiting Burn is like dooming him to insanity. Burn, I mean, kind of, but like all skeletons are doomed to insanity. Like it's not going to stop him from going insane, being isolationist. It's just going to slow it down. All skeletons are doomed to either go insane or take the quick way out. But all skeletons are doomed. There's no question on that. Skeletons' existence are finite, and it's hell. It's hell. It's not a great way to live. It's a bad way to live. Bad way to live. Sad way to live, too. Real sad. Real sad way to live. You feel for it. I feel for it. It's funny because I really do feel bad for the skeletons just because of like their circumstances. And I also do not feel slightly bad for them. I feel bad for them, but I don't. I feel for them, but like it doesn't justify anything they've done. So in that regard, like they're fucking bad. But like I do feel for them for the fact that the nature of their existence is kind of shit. It's kind of shit. Probably he can't hold on and wants to spend the last time exploring rather than being alone. Yeah, I think he did a lot of exploring when he was younger. And I think he got, well, I say younger, but he did a lot of exploring. And he, got out in the world and adventured for a while. And then he kind of just like had relegated himself that like he was going to stay there and like stave off, resetting as long as possible. But I think it's kind of like one of those things where like he's nearing the end of his life, the end of his reset period and stuff. Like I imagine he's getting near there. And, he knows that within the next, couple decades or so, he's probably going to have to reset. And so he might as well go out and have one last hurrah, Go out, have one last hurrah before this version of him dies. The version of him that is adventured and has all of these fun experiences and looks at them the way that he does. Because the next version of him may not. The next version of him will be someone completely different. And, he wants to, I imagine he wants to take advantage of being who he is now before he starts being somebody else. Before he's no longer who he is anymore, Again, skeleton existence is just by default just really sad. Just really sad. Cursed existence for sure. Absolutely cursed existence for sure. What is in here? What is it? Oh, it's copper. Okay, he's storing copper. Do you know what the moon cult preacher is about? I don't, unfortunately. Other than the fact that they clearly worship the celestial bodies. I have no fucking idea, man. I have no idea what their dealio is. I wish I did, but I don't. Can we just talk for a minute about how good Darth Maul looks? Like, he actually looks really fucking good. His model is really, really good. I mean, hold on. He looks really good. Really solid. Savage's is too, but like Maul's is obviously more identifiable. Just solid stuff. Solid stuff. He goes from burn to frostbite. Wouldn't that be some shit? Oh, Savage, you made another lightsaber? Did you now? Oh, this one's better. It's still, I think it's still not a good color. Still not a good color. I think he's still rocking black lightsabers. I need to find something that I can hit it with, because I want to verify that. Oh, right, we pissed off the Adventurers League, and there's also, we made the Wookiees mad. Black lightsabers, huh? My boy's making black lightsabers now. I'm not even actually mad about it. They're kind of fire, but yeah, he's making black lightsabers right now. Still not red. We're still aiming to end up getting red, but they're getting there. They're getting there. It is kind of weird to have a moon cult on a moon. Do they mean the other moon? I don't think the people on Kenshi necessarily know that it's a moon. I don't think the people on Kenshi even necessarily know that they're like a seed of some kind, like they're a seed colony or anything like that. Like, I think like all that stuff is probably lost to time. Like they don't probably know that shit. I was just about to say black looks so cool. The black does look cool, but I need it to be higher quality, which we're getting there. We need to obviously we need to invest in ourselves, guys. We need to invest in ourselves. Aren't the Shek a lot more hostile towards outsiders in the lore? In the game, they seemingly don't mind anybody. In the lore, they're incredibly hostile towards outsiders, and until recently, they would attack outsiders pretty much like when they came near. Anybody that wasn't a Shek or a warrior, they challenged people. They treated everyone like shit. They steamrolled over them. And they still treat them like shit, but they don't attack them because at the behest of Bayan and by proxy Asada, they are holding off on any kind of aggression towards outsiders so that way they can fund some kind of economic situation through trade and they can rebuild their forces. But it's funny that they're relying on trade economics rather than just like investing in agriculture and that kind of stuff where they can become self-sufficient, because even though it would be less than, fitting for their warrior station to have people that are actively farming, it would actually behoove them far more because they wouldn't have to lower themselves to trading and dealing with outsiders, and they could still have that whole like Shek first supremacy concept that they love so much. But stupid is as stupid does, I suppose. I love the Shek. They're literally one of my favorite factions, but they are fucking idiots. They are absolute idiots. The Shek Kingdom is doomed. I've talked about it at great length. They're doomed. There's no saving them, really. They're fucked. Why are the droids coming from the cannibal capital? The rogue droid legion took over the cannibal capital. That explains it. That's where they keep coming from. The rogue droid legions took over the cannibal capital after I killed the cannibal Grand Wizard. So you know what that means, everybody? We now know what we're doing this episode. We're going to go deal with the fucking rogue droid legions. We're going to go put them down. Put them down. Taking them down. Down to Pound Town. Hell yeah, get rid of them. Sick of them. I'm sick of them. Sick of them. Oh, yeah. They don't even know what a boat is, for fuck's sake. How's it going, my fellow handsome gentlemen? It's going pretty good, right? It's going pretty good. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Why do you think Kenshi is a moon and not a planet? It has a planet and a satellite orbiting in it, so it must be a more massive planet than they saw in the sky. I mean, why do I think it's a moon and not a planet? We've been confirmed that it was a planet. Like like Kenshi being a moon is confirmed by Chris. He said it's a tidal locked moon. It's like confirmed. So like, why do I think that? It's because that's what it is. Now, why is it like that? I have no fucking idea. But it is a tidally locked moon. We know that for a fact. That's canon. The people of modern Kenshi pretty much used to be cavemen. Yeah, so it's funny. The people of Kenshi used to be cavemen, and then prior to that, they were a hyper advanced society. Like, it really follows the whole ancient apocalypse theory, the idea that like prior to the Ice Age, um, there was like a hyper advanced civilization that existed that had technology that rivaled or surpassed our own, and then they were obliterated. An ice age occurred, and there was thousands upon thousands of years of frost, and humanity regressed down because they were more interested in survival than anything else. They were cut off, communication stopped, progress completely stopped. They regressed back to the Stone Age, and then after the Ice Age, we came back out and basically started humanity again. It's the ancient apocalypse theory, and Kenshi really rides that train pretty hard because you had the First Empire, which was hyper advanced. Um, the First Empire, which was a hyper advanced society. Spacefaring type. 1.6 on the Kardashev scale, 1.6, 1.7, and then the Age of Chaos. The Age of Chaos became, it was effectively an ice age that lasted for thousands of years. That doesn't make much sense. The other two objects are locked to the planet, same case as the moon and the Earth. So they are orbiting it unless they're a really weird orbit between them. When you say the other two objects, you're talking about like the hold on. Where are the other celestial bodies? Can I see them right now? Where am I at? I don't think I'm going to be able to. There. Okay. So the presumption is that this is the planet. This is a second moon, and then Kenshi is another moon, and they're tidally locked to the planet. The Kenshi at least is tidally locked to the planet. So this would be the planet, and then this is another moon. This is Kenshi, and then there's the sun. So like, I guess I don't understand why. The planet and the moon in the sky, they always the same face to Kenshi, right? I mean, I think so. But like the fact that they orbit the way that they do. Hold on, god damn it. Oh my god. My controls are being really stupid right now. Yeah, it could just be a sandbox limitation. Like they're basically just static objects in the sky. Because it could just be a sandbox limitation. Who knows? No, look, they rotate too. See? You can actively see them rotating in real time. You can see them rotating in real time. Look at that. You can literally see them both rotating in real time. So, I mean, it's not always facing the same side of Kenshi. It's rotating at a different speed, but it's rotating in real time. You can see it. Have you seen the Sentient Sands mod? I have seen it. And I actually was talking about it earlier on the stream that I think I might end up doing a video on it. Either doing a video or doing a playthrough with it. Because that sounds fucking insane. I'm really stoked about it. Honestly, I might after I'm done here with Kenshi Star Wars, with Darth Beep here, I might end up doing a full video on Sentient Sands or doing a full playthrough with Sentient Sands or both. I mean, it looks really interesting. And super interested in it. I think it's gonna be really, I think it's really, really cool. Super novel concept, really unique. Really cool idea. And I feel like unlike other, what is the mod? Basically, it adds AI into the game in the sense that I can, basically it uses background AI where you can go up to any NPC, open up a chat box and talk to them, and they will talk back. And not only will they talk back, they'll actually respond based on things like your clothes, their wealth, your equipment, their personality, faction relations, how you talk to them. They will remember things that you do. They'll like rumors will spread about the things that you do. Like you'll develop a reputation. Things will travel throughout other NPCs will actually talk to each other, and like rumors can spread. You can actually use Sentient Sands dialogue if you have a compelling enough discussion with the NPCs to convince them to join your party or to sell you things at a discount or to give you things. Like You can it's literally like you're having actual conversation with the characters in Kenshi with your own characters. And I feel like unlike with a lot of other mods with other games like Skyrim and stuff like that that do similar things, this one is um a lot less is much more ethical in the sense that like you're not using voice actors or anything like that. Like it's all text based, you know. There's no one's having their voices or anything ripped, but it allows you to effectively communicate with NPCs. It's really fucking cool. It's a really cool idea. Um, for role play reasons, like you can actually like if you go up to say, all right, so say I had Beep here go up to Jusmond here, and he insulted her, okay, and she didn't like him, and then Beep left and went and did a bunch of other stuff for like 100 in-game days. Then I came back. She would remember what he had done, and she will have also grown in that time and like have her own experiences, but she'll remember what he had done, and she may have told other people. If you piss off one character, they could actually spread rumors to other characters in game, and like that you could become quite literally infamous for the things that you've said and the things that you've done. It's really cool. It's a cool idea, and I wanted to take a look at it. It does seem like a really fucking cool novel concept, and I'm very interested in it for sure. Actually, fun fact: the people that make Sentient Sands, Player 2, the person and or people that made it, they actually reached out to me on TikTok and asked me if I'd be interested in making a video on their mod. Now, I had already considered doing it and like talked about it, but they actually reached out to me and asked if I would consider making some content on their mod. So, but I had already thought about doing it before that. But they actually, yeah, they reached out to me on TikTok and asked about it. Where would you rank Igor in terms of strength? Higher than Asada, lower than the Bugmaster. Higher than Asada, lower than the Bugmaster. So we talked about this actually on the pod last Thursday with, not this past Thursday, the Thursday before that, with Frankie and Pato. The order that we had decided on for like major bosses and factions and stuff like that was in lore, it was Catlon, Tin Fist, Bugmaster. Catlon, Tin Fist, Bugmaster, Igor, Asada, and then Holy Phoenix. So there was that. But Asada and Igor are interchangeable. We had decided that those two were interchangeable. But we had a whole discussion on it on Tengu's Vault on the podcast. Good old episode 3 of Tengu's Vault. Where are they at there? Okay, they're up there. So once this raid is over against the rogue droids, we're actually going to lead a force to the Cannibal Capital to deal with the rogue droids because I am sick and tired of them raiding me every 5 seconds. I have so little freedom of movement because these bastards don't know how to leave me alone. How did Igor become part of the United Cities anyway? He's clearly a Southern hive, but that hive isn't known for their diplomacy. How did he join the United Cities? I think he was attacked, kidnapped, and then he was the dialogue implicates that he was caged and tortured in Tengu's vault until he essentially developed some kind of Stockholm syndrome and became somewhat loyal to Tengu. And now Tengu uses him as a battering ram against his enemies. But yeah, he was kidnapped and tortured into submission. Kidnapped and tortured. Just waiting on this raid to happen. And we may actually get some good findings when we go to the Cannibal Capital again, because we need to research how to... we need to increase our research so we can make better lightsabers. We need better lightsabers. That's what we need. We require them. I also need more fucking copper because I need to make more power supplies. More power for sure. More power for sure. And I'm also going to make more of these battery banks because we need more of them. We don't have enough. We do not have enough. Database terminal large. No. Computer terminal. Here it is. Acts like a mini battery. Yeah, we need a good number of these. Up over here. Actually, can we put them inside? We can put them inside. All right, let's put a couple of these in here. I need to get more power, but I don't necessarily always have time to do that. At least until we can get some more copper, so we can get some more. Because we're not using agriculture for oil and stuff or for fuel at the moment. And I think late game we will have better options. But right now, being able to store more power is just generally beneficial to every way. In every way. Generally beneficial in pretty much every way. Okay, enemy force is a-coming. I don't know how big they are. They're probably going to be lower level droids, but that's fine. We got our 2 gunners out here, and we got the ones up on our bunker turrets. There will never be enough. I agree. I agree. Never enough. Never enough. Soiled it. Soiled it. Soiled it. So he's a soldier drone. It would probably just be less Stockholm Syndrome and more so a lack of intellect and sense of belonging in battle. Also, was he trained or was he just a natural warrior? I mean, soldier drones are by default a natural warrior. And I imagine that when they grabbed him, he wasn't like a young soldier drone. He was probably a tough bastard. He just probably wasn't quite as strong as he is now, but he was probably a pretty tough guy. Took a number of people to get him down, I imagine. Then they dragged his happy ass to Tengu's vault. They tortured him for a while until he, they instilled a sense of loyalty or fear of Tengu into him, and now he's just Tengu's dog. He does what he does. Or it could be something as simple as, Tengu tortured the shit out of him for a while, and then basically was like, hey, I know you don't like being tortured. Wouldn't you like to do the torturing? You're a violent, aggressive animal. How about I let you out of here, and I'll give you plenty of people to kill, and in exchange, you kill the ones that I tell you to. But I do think he's a natural warrior, just by fact that he's a soldier drone. I think that's a pretty normal thing. All right, we're going to get our workers inside now. Hold jobs. Everybody in. Nope, down here, floor 0. You guys don't need to be up there. Fantastic. And we're going to hold, except for Zenith and Meridian. And you guys come in here. You're also on hold. Actually, everybody just pile on in here for now. And we are going to close up the gate. Close it up. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put Shark. Actually, we're going to have Shark over here. Python right here. Ray is still missing an arm, so he's on turret duty. And A is on turret duty as well. Fantastic. So now if they break through, we'll deal with that. But that's if they break through. That's if they break through. Big friggin' if on that. Big friggin' if on that. Are we shooting at? Oh, we're shooting at these raptors here, these river raptors. Nice. Take them down. Take them down. I need to get better turrets at some point too. The turrets we have, we need E-web turrets, the big ones that fire way faster. These ones fire at a decent speed, but they could fire way faster. Although these ones do not do too bad. They get the job done. They get the job done. Clearly they get the job done, but... okay. Alright, here they're coming. Here they come. We also have reinforcements that are coming, too, from the back end. So we're going to fight the first part of this fight on our own. Oh, yes! Covert Stormtroopers! This is fantastic. This is fantastic. We can put that armor on some of our guys. We can throw that armor into our armor storage and just have Covert Stormtrooper armor for when we recruit more droids and stuff. As well as throw them on some of our soldiers that maybe don't have any yet. Yeah, fantastic. This is fantastic. That's what this is. I'm actually going to bring one person out here. Oh, no, she can stay. I'm going to end up getting rid of her. She was a temporary replacement when I thought I couldn't get Maul, but I did get Maul, and now I don't really need her anymore. Plus, she can't wear armor because her armor is actually like connected to her model, which is not my favorite thing. Not my favorite thing. Not really my favorite thing. We got 2 rows of Covert Stormtroopers. Love this. Love it. We're going to take all of this Covert Stormtrooper armor. Shoot at you. And then you guys, yeah, just start shooting right away. Don't even bother. Just start shooting right away. Gun them down. Gun them down. Unload. Show them what for it mean. Guys, whoa. You guys are on turrets for a reason. Although, to be honest, they'd probably be better off shooting without the turrets. Here, we'll do that. We'll do that. They have really good guns. They have really good guns. So we'll run from that. No, you're gonna not do range, not do any of that stuff like I asked. All right, apparently he's whipping out the stun baton. I don't really know why, but he's whipping out the stun baton. Totally fine. What are our gunners up to? Focus on them. All right, Zenith is doing his thing. Meridian, why? You know, what's the point in you guys having fucking guns if you're not going to use them? I swear. All right, they're out here and they're fighting. They're doing their thing. What is Beep and them doing? Okay, they're healing. Good. Keep our gunners alive. You guys are out here doing their thing. That stun baton doing? It doesn't seem like it's doing much. You guys are a tough opponent. Tough opponent. Why are you not using your gun? Like, this is the thing that kills me. Shoot at the dude. Do you not have ammo for your gun? Oh, he doesn't have ammo for his gun. That's why I'm fucking stupid. That's why I'm big dumb. That's all. Ignore me. I have no fucking idea what I'm talking about. I've gone yumpy. Energy cells? Alright. I'm over here like, why are you not using your fucking gun? You have a gun. Use the gun. Blast him. Blast him. Keep blasting him. So anyway, he started blasting. Alright, Meridian, get over here. Same thing. You need to start using your gun. You have a gun. Why are you not using it? Do you need different... No, he has a gun. What are you doing? You're just being stupid. God, why are you like... You're so adopted. Whatever. After spending hundreds of hours Skyrim modding, it was really shocking and impressive how easy it is to mod Kenshi. It's actually pretty easy. It is actually pretty easy. The fact that it's so easy almost makes up for the fact that it is kind of limited in the grand scheme of things. In the grand scheme, it's kind of limited. These two are actually killing it out here. Reinforcements here yet? Jeez, by the time they get here, it's not going to be a problem. Oh, they're fighting goats. We got backed up by goats, guys. We got reinforced by the goats. The Goat Patrol. One might say they're goated. Ignore me. That's so dumb. I'm dumb. Ignore me. And I'm going to be recruiting a bunch of these guys, too. Not that one, because I've ripped his arm off. I've ripped his arm off. My gunners doing any of them damage? No, they're doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Yeah, I'm impressed. I'm genuinely impressed. Genuinely impressed. Chat, can I download Kenshi off the Nexus and run it with workshop mods, or do I have to move my whole mod list over to Nexus? No, you can download Kenshi off Nexus and then have everything else on the workshop. That's what I did. My Kenshi's off the Nexus, and then my entire mod list, which you can find in the description down below, is all on Steam Workshop. Does Kenshi have any lore regarding the nearby celestial bodies? If Kenshi was a seed colony, would it not make more sense to settle the actual planet itself? I mean, we don't have any lore on the celestial bodies, no, other than the fact that we are tidally locked, like Kenshi's tidally locked to the planet. It makes me wonder if Kenshi's home colony could be from the planet it's tidally locked to. Yeah, we don't know if it's tidally locked. I mean, we know that it's tidally locked to the moon, to the planet. God damn it, I can't talk. We know that it is tidally locked to the planet. We don't have any other information beyond that. And, you know, it would make more sense to see the actual planet itself, not if the planet's not habitable, right? Like, we wouldn't settle on Saturn, but we would, in fact, settle on Saturn's moon, Titan. You know, Titan is, is a viable candidate for potential colonies in the future in our own solar system, and it's a moon. You know, just because it's a planet doesn't mean that it makes more sense to seed there. It could be that Kenshi had the building blocks for a habitable habitable like colony or habitable moon, and they chose to they chose to settle there. You know, it could be that the planet that Kenshi orbits could potentially just be so far outside the realms of habitability comparatively to Kenshi that they made more sense to be here. Could be something along those lines. I find it unlikely that unless the Empire was collapsing and Kenshi had a whole different thing going on, but I personally find it unlikely that Kenshi was from the nearby planet just by nature of the fact that the greater Empire itself didn't intervene when the skeletons fell apart. I think it's more likely that Kenshi was a seed colony that came from far off in the stars for the purposes of spreading humanity throughout into the stars from wherever they're from. That's why when the Empire fell, like the greater Empire didn't come and back them up or anything like that. It's because they didn't, they weren't aware. You know, colonies in realistic space travel that does if you're in real life science, if you don't have access to faster than light speed travel, you're like colonies that we send out to other planets, other solar systems, stuff like that. We're almost never going to interact with them again. Not ever, if not for a couple hundred or decades or hundreds of years or et cetera. Like when we send candidates out to seed other planets in far off places, the goal is not to create a interconnected massive empire that we're all communicating. It's to expand human reach out into the stars. So in the event that something happens, humanity's not wiped out. We're in other places, right? It's meant to expand human reach, to foster discovery and innovation by going to different places and experiencing different things and all that stuff. The intention is not to create an interconnected empire. I think it's far more likely that Kenshi was a seed empire that was sent from super far away, and communication wasn't the key. It was expansion of human reach. And after the first empire fell at the hands of the rebellion, like the greater empire has no idea that it fell because they probably sent out tons of seed colonies, and they probably sent out tons of attempts, and that was that. Either that or Kenshi's colony wasn't just a seed colony; it was a seed colony from an empire that was dying. That they sent him off to some other planet or some other area that was habitable that they had, found out about. But I find it unlikely that they came from the planet that was above, because it's like there would have been some kind of response, I feel, to the skeletons rebelling. So I personally don't think that's the case, but it's kind of hard to say. We don't really know enough to make a decision one way or the other. Well, these two are kind of killing it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm impressed with them. I feel like they have really they've really made up for their crimes in the past, when they killed a bunch of our guys. I think they've finally made up for the crimes of their past, because they're kind of killing it right now. If the planet's on the edge of nowhere, it'd be too much work to save. That's fair. It would be a lot of work to save, I think, but I personally just don't think that they were connected. I think that they were a seed colony that was sent out to the stars for the purposes of expanding human reach, and the interconnectedness of it all is non-existent. They're just not connected empire. Who needs reinforcements, man? Not us. We had a whole thing of droid reinforcements coming, and they just they never even made it, or we were supposed to. These are Western hives. That's not horror. We were supposed to have allied reinforcements coming. Where are they at? They're way over here. Oh my god, you fucking buffoons. You absolute buffoons. You never would have made it anyway. You never would have made it anyway. Ridiculous. Okay. Pick your weapons. Gonna pick you up. Let's get these guys into cages. Get these guys into cages. Throw them in a cage. Meridian. You heal yourself up. Fantastic. Same thing with you. Pick you up. Throw them in a cage. Throw them all in cages. The only reason I ponder it is because the planet visible from the moon of Kenshi clearly has blue waters and green terrain. I mean, yeah, but again, we don't know what the atmospheric composition looks like. We don't. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff that we don't know. They could have been habitable, but it's a really rough. It's a rough guess. The best thing I could assume is again that Kenshi was just more habitable. You know, Kenshi was just it was easier. It was more habitable. Terraforming it was easier. You know, whatever it is, it was probably just better off that way. You know. Probably just better off that way. We're going to recruit some of these guys. Eh. There it is. All right, so now we're going to zoom in on that on my phone, on my dear old phone, and we're going to talk to these guys. Basic. All right, 1 3 2 1 4 4 1 2 3 1 1 4. And then reset memory banks. Whoa. Shadow droid. Love it. Love it. Could be super Earth. Gravity too high for chemical rockets. Yeah, I mean, it could be literally something is that, like, where the gravity was too high. Like, they could terraform a planet to make it more habitable, but, like, fixing gravity, that's a whole different issue, you know? Especially since presumably they didn't have, again, faster than light travel, which means they do not have the ability to manipulate gravity, right? Gravity manipulation is not in the cards for them. So, Kenshi's is not tightly locked to that planet since we can see it rotate. I mean, Kenshi, by definition, Kenshi is tightly locked to the is tightly locked to the planet. Like by Chris's definition, he's the one that decided it is tightly locked to the planet. I mean, the fact that we can see it rotate does call into question some things, but I mean, you know, Chris is the one that decided it. It is. He says it's tightly locked. The fact that it rotates is interesting. You know, I don't know, guys. I don't know. I didn't write it. I didn't do it. I don't know. I didn't do it, man. I didn't make the skybox. It's not my fault. Stop yelling at me. Nothing hits harder than sleeping in a sleeping bag after getting jumped by bandits and wondering if there are people on that planet in the sky living a less brutal life. Interesting. Okay, Kenshi astronomy hasn't the same laws as ours, kind of. I mean, it's the same thing as like how Kenshi is supposed to be a tidally locked moon, and you know some people have made the comment that like, oh, it shouldn't have a day-night cycle, which isn't true. It does have like the moon does have a day-night cycle. It just wouldn't be the same as our day-night cycle. Like our moon's day-night cycle is like 14 days on either or. It's the question isn't the fact that it has a day-night cycle. It's that it has such a short day-night cycle. It's only 24 hours, but that's also partially dependent on the rotation speed and the orbit of the planet that it rotates around. So we don't know. The other thing is we see the planet rotating, but do we see the moon rotating? What if it was a tidally locked moon that rotates another moon? Who knows? I don't know. I don't fucking know. I'm just throwing ideas out there, guys. I don't know. I don't know. All right, talk to you. Cthulhian. All right. What is it? No, shit. I went too fast. I got blisters on my fingers. Do that in a minute. Well, while we're doing that, I should probably go out and grab some more instead of just sitting here recruiting all of them. Repair you just a bit. Perfect. Get you out of the dying zone. Pick them up. Fantastic. Throw them in a cage. Pick them up, throw them in a cage. Pick them up, throw them in a cage. You're dead. You're playing dead, but you are still alive, and you don't have any missing limbs, which is one of the key criteria for joining my squad. I don't deal with droids that have missing limbs. You're fucking useless. Gotta get this place locked up nice and tight. Missing leg. Dying, but not dead. Dying, but not dead. Fantastic. Pick him up. Throw him in a cage. We love throwing people in cages. We love throwing droids in cages. Fresh clankers. Get your clankers here. Fresh clankers. Get your clankers here. Maybe it's locked to the center of the planet / other moon's gravity well, because the other one is way closer. Yeah, I mean, it's again, it's one of those. I don't know. I don't know. It's interesting that they said it's, you know, Chris decided it was totally locked and they made the planet rotate at subcapacity. It's super interesting. I wonder how much it rotates. That's the other question. I mean, it clearly rotates a bit because, like, you can see it in real time moving. Very interesting. Oh, man. Although... I mean, theoretically, I'm trying to think about it. Would that matter, the fact that the planet's rotating? I mean, like, the fact that it's rotating a little bit, like, would that really matter? I'm trying to think about this. Now you guys got me all, like jumbled on the physics aspect of this thing. Would that really make that huge of a difference? Because, like, the idea of it being totally locked means it rotates around the planet at the same speed that the planet is turning, but... No. No, that wouldn't matter. Because otherwise, the other side of our own planet would never see... No, the fact that the planet's rotating doesn't mean a thing. No. Hold on. I'm just this all just propped into my head. The fact that the planet's rotating doesn't mean anything. The fact that the planet is spinning is not why it's tidally locked. It's tidally locked because the moon rotates at the same speed that it orbits the planet. And because of that, because otherwise our own moon, like, what is it? Otherwise, I'm in the United States. The people on the other side, on the exact opposite side of the planet, would never see the moon. If the moon was rotating at the same speed of the planet, we would only ever see the moon. It'd be moving with the United States or with wherever it was locked onto. No. It's just because the moon rotates at the same speed that it orbits around the planet, which is why the same face of Kenshi always sees the moon. Or in this case, it always sees the planet. So the fact that the planet's rotating doesn't mean anything. Kenshi is totally locked. I'm a fucking brainlet. I am a brainlet. Air all these guys up. Make them all nice and healthy, like. Because the fact that the planet is spinning faster, that makes, like, it makes sense, because the moon is simply, the moon rotates, Kenshi rotates at the same speed that it's orbiting around. So the face of Kenshi, the face that, you know, we're on, or one side of Kenshi is always facing the planet, but the planet can rotate at whatever speed it wants. That's all. That's why it rotates. Kenshi is totally locked. Yeah, I got confused there for a minute, but we're there. I got there in the end. Because I'm thinking about it, I'm like, if the moon being totally locked means that we wouldn't be able to see the planet rotating, that means it's always facing the same side of the planet, which means the other side of the planet would never see the moon. And that's not how that works. That's not how that works. Because our own moon is tidally locked, and obviously the other end of the world still sees the moon. So, like, that doesn't make any sense. What gameplay features would you primarily like to have in Kenshi 2? Something like player cannibalism or slavery? I would like to see proper siege mechanics. Things like climbing walls, siege engines, that kind of stuff. Both for you and the enemies. And a cover system. Fun fact, Australia has never seen the moon. Wouldn't that be some shit? Okay, let's continue our recruiting of these guys. Although we can't let them out of the cages until next episode, or until I reload the game. So, you know, there's that. But that's fine. 3, 2, 1, 4, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 4, and then 3. All right, Shadow Droid. Beep's building his army for when we go take care of those damn Jedi. Those damnable Jedi. Beep is building his army. That man has gun back. Fantastic. Beep, trade with this man. Who has his gun? Meridian, do you have it? He doesn't have a gun. That's fine. We'll deal with that. Alright, loot this guy. He doesn't have a gun. He just has a knife. Jesus Christ, what is with you guys and just having knives? I need you to have guns. Guns. Ridiculous. Trebuchets, that's what I'm saying. Trebuchets. Yeah, we just don't get to see the other side of the moon. Exactly. That's why there's, like, the myth that there's, like, a dark side of the moon. There's not a dark side of the moon, because the moon has a day-night cycle. There is a far side of the moon that we don't see, but there's no dark side of the moon. That's nonsense. That's nonsense. That's utter nonsense. That's what that is. Utter nonsense. Hogwash. Poppycock. Sieges will be awesome, and having a food surplus will become way more helpful. Yeah, it could become a battle of attrition. And also, like, if they had a cover mechanic, again, it would force you out of your base in the event that, you know, your harpoons wouldn't be able to do all the work. You'd be forced to, like, actually come out of your base and fight enemies. Shadow droid. Love it. This is what you guys get for having the gall to attack Darth Beepus. You guys are now being recommissioned as my my totally not slaves. Totally not slaves. All right, let's see how we're looking here. 5 times. I talked to you guys. Talk to you. Fantastic. Oh, shit. I didn't mean to do that. God damn it! Hit the wrong button. Of course I did. There we go. Basic. 1, 3, 2, 1. God damn it. My fingers got all fucked up. Trying to zip through the zip through the dialogue, and I keep hitting the wrong button because I'm distracted and because, you know, I hit the wrong button. All right, basic. 3, 2, 1, 4, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 3. What? Oh, it was 4 at the end because it's the extra one that doesn't appear in the reset code. That's my bad. Talk to you. Let's try that again. 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 4. Then 3. Fantastic. Shadow droid. All these guys. Properly defend this base. Properly defend the base. And Beep's going to give you your gun. Or a gun. I have a gun and you can have it. And these guys are going to end up joining the gunners for now. Love that. I also got to restructure what my captains look like. Obviously, Darth Maul is one of our apprentices, and then Savage Opress, and then you're here for now, but you're not a long-term. Probably going to get rid of you soon. Execution by firing squad. That's what's going to happen with her. Execution via firing squad. Trade caravan waiting. I think I have an issue with the Traders Guild. I think we have an issue with the Traders Guild. Being that apparently we have an issue with the Traders Guild. All right, you know, it's fine. We're just going to put you down. Give me all your funds. Who cares? We're already at war with practically everyone. What's the Traders Guild at this point, you know? Beep is at war with pretty much everyone anyway. What's one more person? Who fucking cares? We can use their supplies. That's what we need. We did it for their supply. That's all. We did it for the supply. We did it for the stuff, for the money. For the money. Up for the money. For the money. We have general storage containers in here, or is it all just actual storage armor segments? No, we don't have a single general storage container. Okay. We're gonna need to build one of those. storage, or we could just build the electrical components one. Do we have electrical components? No, we don't, because they come with they come with the electrical component research, so we don't have. That's fine. You couldn't even trade with the Traders Guild leader. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I can't even trade with him. He's being a prick. I don't know. You know, it's fine. It's fine. We'll just kill him. Downside is Palpatine's gonna be really pissed, but that's fine. We'll deal with him. Palpatine's gonna be mad, but what are you gonna do? You know, Beep has kind of moved beyond Palpatine at this point. You know, he's kind of moved beyond him. He's no longer interested in Palpatine's nonsense. Instead, he's Beep. He's just doing Beep things. We're gonna get all this food. We need all the food that we can get. All the food that we can get. We're gonna dump that stuff. Fantastic. Somehow he returned. Indeed. Indeed. I don't know who he is. Is he you? Because if he is you, then yes, you did. Correct. Can confirm you have returned. I was there. If he is Beep, then that's a whole different story. Does the Holy Nation have any stance on sexualities? I mean, as far as I know, we haven't seen dialogue or anything that indicates it, but given their, like, everything, I mean, I feel like they probably have an issue with, same-sex relationships, but I mean, that's kind of hard for me to say with certainty, but probably, but we don't know anything for certain, no. Not that I know of, anyway. Not that I know of anyway, but they have like a whole thing on like family values is probably a wrong way to put it, but on like traditionalism, like the whole a man, a woman's place is here, a man's place is here, women are for bearing children and all that stuff. Like I imagine just like when you take all that stuff together, it probably lends towards them having issues with certain sexualities, but it's kind of hard to say. I don't know of anything that dedicates one way or the other. That says one way or the other. But, I mean, probably. I think it's a fair assessment to say probably. Talk to you guys yet? Yes, I can. The Holy Nation has mandatory boy kissing. Oh, man. That's what the clergy's all about. That's what they're there for. That's what they're there for. Hold on, I gotta get that code back. There we go. Zoom in on that bad boy right there. All right, it is basic, and then 13214412311 4311111. Shadow droid. Getting a nice little army of droids here. We love it. We love the droid army. We love the droid army. Deep's gonna have a nice droid army. Yes, guys, do remember to like the stream if you guys are enjoying it. I do try my best to keep things entertaining for you all here. Also, if you guys are on Twitch, do consider giving me a follow. It does help. I think actually I just hit 50 follows on Twitch, which is really cool because I've only been on Twitch for like 2 weeks. I think this is week 3 that I've been on Twitch, so really cool. But I'd like to continue things going, especially since Kenshi content as a whole is kind of falling right now in terms of engagement. Like, what is it? I have I'll check in a second, but let me get people over here to get this last droid, and then we'll I'll talk about what I was about to talk about. Okay, I used to average, like, for basically the last, like, 2 months, I've been averaging between 170 and 300 people per stream, and my streams as of, like, probably, like, last Tuesday-ish, last Sunday, Monday, I was sitting around, like, 80, which was, a lower number, but it was, it's still, it's still fine, but then, the last, like, 3 streams that I've done, I've been struggling to break 50, like 40, 50 people across YouTube and Twitch together. Like it's been Kenshi, and it's not just me. All Kenshi creators are experiencing the same thing right now. I've talked to a few of them. Like we're all just seeing it downtrodden in our views and stuff like that. And it's just we're all just we're starved for Kenshi too, man. We need more info. We need the fire to be reignited so we can start like getting more engagement again. What do you think the price of Kenshi 2 will be on release? I'm hoping it'll be 35. I'm hoping it'll be like $40, 30, $40. I think if they're smart, they'll make it $40. I think if they're smart, they'll make it $40. But hard to say. I don't think it's going to be like fucking AAA title, cost. That's what you're worried about. I don't think that's going to be a problem. But I do think that it's going to be like $40. Kenshi 2 is going to cause some fucking ripples in the content creation field. Like all Kenshi content creators we're gonna fucking pop. We're gonna pop right off. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great for us. It's gonna be great. A lot of people who have been putting in the work for years are gonna finally, maybe not like get the recognition they deserve. I don't know if that's like the right way to say it, but like they're gonna get the recognition that they've been working for, which I'm really excited about for a lot of them. I'm excited for people like Frankie and Pato and Muffin and all of them to get get recognized for their talents and all that stuff, and get recognized in the as Kenshi blows up. Because Kenshi, like we've talked about, Kenshi 2 is going to be fucking huge, man. It's going to be huge, and it's going to be great. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a really good time for a lot of people. A lot of great people, a lot of powerful people. It's going to be a good time for all of those people. All right, Savage, Riku. Do we have anyone headed towards us? I hope not. Droid engineers. Okay, some more droids that we can buy. That's fine. Brax, Araro, Tip-Bob, Kang. All of you are coming with me. We're going on a little field trip. And I'm going to leave Meridian and Zenith here because they can hold down the fort. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna have them come with us. Actually, I'm gonna have them come with us. Have them come right with us. All of you guys too. Stop your jobs. We're going on a field trip, and I'm actually going to shut all of my workers into the base. Yourself included, of course. I mean, yeah, me too. But also, like, it's not just about, because here's the thing. I've actually had relative success in Kenshi that I think a lot of other content creators haven't had the opportunity to have. For whatever reason, like most Kenshi creators that are just Kenshi, don't make it very far in terms of subs. And it's because Kenshi's a niche game with a niche community, and there's a vacuum in content that I'm going to say has some production value from people that aren't already large variety streamers. Right. And that's not to discredit or hurt anyone's feelings, but like one of the reasons that like my lore content popped off is because prior to me making lore content, the only lore content there was really poorly recorded laptop footage with grainy, unedited audio. And there was no like quotes on screen. There was no like investigation. There was no documentation, no digging into the game files. Like it was someone doing really poorly recorded audio on like a choppy game, and there wasn't production value in it. And that's not to discredit the people that were doing it, but like there was a gap in the niche, right? There was a gap in content. And so I saw that and I started making the content, and it took off. Now, there are a lot of really talented content creators out there that have done Kenshi content and have been lucky with it, but they're variety content creators. And so people tend to follow them not because of the Kenshi content, but because of them. And they enjoy when they play Kenshi because Kenshi's a great game. But they're not interested in Kenshi as much as they are interested in them. General Sam is a great example. Even Ambiguous Amphibian to a degree is a great example, though he has brought a lot of people to the game. And so YouTubers and content creators that are purely Kenshi dedicated, people like myself, people like Frankie, where, yeah, we do an occasional other game here and there. People like Pato, where we do other games here and there. For the most part, we're primarily Kenshi. That's our bread and butter. It is really hard to grow on YouTube. And I've been incredibly lucky through a combination of research, trial and error, finding the niches. Like there was work put into it, but I've also been lucky that it worked out where my content has taken off, and I have managed to garner, you know, almost 16,000 subs in 5 years from doing Kenshi content, and 5,000 of those have come in the last 3 months, the last 2 months. Last 2 months, I've gotten 5,000 subs. Since the middle of November, I've gotten 5,000 subs. It took me 5 years to hit 10,000 subs, or 4.5 years to hit 10,000 subs, and then I hit 15,000 in 2 months. Like 2 months out, 3 months after that. It was wild. And it would be cool to see other content creators that stream Kenshi 5 days a week, that put out content, that have these comprehensive guides. People like Frankie get a boost that's not slow rolling. Like we get subs, we get views, we get engagement, but usually it's a very slow, steady climb. And I lucked out the last couple of months where suddenly I was getting 1 million views a month, you know? I was getting 1 million views a month, and it's a combination of my lore videos, my shorts, and my base building content, and my live streams where I engage with the community, because I try to be really engaging with you guys, and I try to sit down and talk with you guys and answer questions, and I try to be a content creator that's not just a talking head on a screen, but someone that you guys can talk to, someone you guys can relate with, someone that you guys can connect with. I want you guys to feel like you're tight with me because I like talking to you guys, and I want to feel tight with you guys, you know? But it would just be cool if some other people that are putting in the work, whether they're, you know, I use Pato and Frankie as an example of time because they're the two that I'm the closest with. You know, I talk to Frankie and Pato almost every day, if not every other day, you know, in some capacity, even if it's just a passing high. But even people that are not them, but like people that have enjoyed Kenshi and want to see it grow and have put the work in, it'd be really cool to see them get the recognition they deserve. So I don't include myself when I say that, like, I want Kenshi to like other Kenshi creators to blow up and get what they deserve, because I feel I've been incredibly lucky and fortunate that I've already gotten, you know, large leaps. I don't make like enough money to live on, but I've made, you know, at least especially in the last couple of months, I've made okay money. You know, it's okay, it's good. One day I want to do Kenshi, you know, do this stuff full time, and one day maybe I will. But my main thing has always been that I want the people that are actively engaging and building the community, that are positive influences on the community, that are decent people, that are putting in the work and maybe haven't seen the returns, to finally get what they deserve, you know? And I feel that I don't need to include myself in that because I'm already getting it. I've already gotten some of my, some pullback from what I've gotten, you know, from what I've put in. I've already got the results. So, and that's also why I hop into so many other people's Kenshi streams. That's why I hop into other people's Kenshi streams and I talk to them and I give them advice in the game, and I share the stream in my Discord and you know, in my community Discord and all that stuff, because I want to help as many other content creators that are putting the work in, that are interested in Kenshi, to grow, not just for the sake of them, but also because it keeps the community alive. Because without the community, Kenshi dies. And when we're waiting on Kenshi 2, we're starved for content. But as long as we can get some variety in who's delivering the content, it's the closest we're going to get to, having something new in the meantime. Yeah. Pato's cinematics are awesome. Pato is really good at the narrative storytelling. Like, Pato's roleplay series are so good. They're so good. The dude absolutely kills it. I love his roleplay series. He's phenomenal at it. Phenomenal. All right, everybody. We're going on a little trip in our favorite rocket ship up to the Cannibal capital. We're going to the Cannibal capital. We're going to take out those rogue droids once and for all. Pissing me right off. Constantly attacking my base. Didn't I have Riku coming with us? I'm pretty sure I said Riku should be coming with us. Did she not make it out of the base in time? She didn't make it out of the base in time. God damn it, Riku. Well, I should probably leave at least one Jedi here, I suppose, to defend in the event that things go to shit. Okay. All right, we'll leave Riku. She'll be the Sith that defends the base in the event that things go bad. It's fine. Between Maul, Savage, and the others, I think we'll be okay-ish. But no, I want to see as many creators get what they can. It'd be really cool if there was people out there that could make a full living on just Kenshi. making content for, and that's ultimately good for lo-fi too. Like this isn't just like a selfish desire or desire for like more content creators to be able to live off of Kenshi like that, but like it's better for lo-fi too. They get pushback from it. Like when I last month when I was getting 1 million, I was getting 1 million views a month last month. It's I'm getting like 600,000, but I was getting 1 million views every 28 days last month, and the number of people that told me that they picked up Kenshi for the first time because of my shorts and stuff was crazy. You can go on SteamDB and you can see the numbers pop up. It was crazy. The number of people that came back to Kenshi, the number of people that haven't played it in months and picked it back up, the number of people that bought Kenshi, like it was crazy, and it was really cool to see that kind of an impact. And it was really cool to know that impact was not only an impact that was measurable, but was measurable and as a result of my content. That was really cool. And I'd like to see something similar happen to other content creators. It's just in general. I have a love for Kenshi. I love the world building. I think that it's good for everybody. And I just want to help as many content creators as I can, and people that are involved in the community as I can, modders, content creators, the whole line. That's partly why we started the podcast. We started the podcast, Pato and I did, for the purposes of talking about Kenshi, getting it out there, sharing more experiences, and also having, bringing mod authors on, bringing other content creators on, so we can show people these other creators that are out there putting the work in that just haven't gotten hit by the algorithm yet. That haven't gotten so lucky to get hit by the algorithm yet. We're just working on it. All right, this is gonna be fun. I'm gonna see if I can set up some snipers over here. All right, so Zenith and Meridian. I don't know what they're... wow, that is a lot of droids down there. Are they all rogue B1s? Easy stuff, easy stuff. Easy peasy. There we go. Just start firing away, boys. No. Too far away. Speaking of the pod, we should have another episode this week. If my math is correct, we should be having another episode coming out this week. I'm going to talk to Pato about tomorrow. I'm pretty sure it's Thursday. We'll do some advertisements stuff as always. I'll notify everyone on the community page and all that stuff. But yeah, next episode of the pod should be this week. Brax, what are you doing, man? Down here? Yeah, okay. He's there. All right, let's get over here. Kill some droids. We're killing some droids, everybody. All right, we're going to go off 5 times speed. We're going on 1 now. Ready in. There, just start firing. Fire away. Shoot him. Shoot him now. Fuck him. Shoot him in the face. Yeah, we killed one of them. Then they ran like cowards, following the leader. Cowards! Legit, I'm having so much fun in Kenshi because of you guys, and on top of that, not just for a day, but I started thinking about it randomly. Yeah, that's what I'm that's what I'm saying. Like it's cool to know that like we've had an impact. It's just cool. It's cool. What did we drop? 2? Oh, we killed 2. Nice. Oh, we dropped 1 and we killed 2. All right, let's go drop some droids since these guys so foolishly decided to take over the Cannibal Grand Wizard's camp. Who's the leader? This guy? Rogue BX Commander. Yeah, that's the guy. And it looks like he's got some droidicas. 4 of them. Interesting. Upside, most of these guys are B1s. They shouldn't be too much of a problem. We've killed far easier. Granted, we did have turrets backing us up when we did it, but we should be fine. All right, so here's the dealio. Here's the breakup, everybody. Let's send our guys in here. We're going to have everyone start to attack. I'm going to have Maul, Oppress, and Beep. I'm going to have Oppress go there, Maul go there, Beep take him out. We don't even have any interest in taking the bounty. I'm interested in killing him. I don't even care about the bounty. Oh, damn, dude. Beep is getting fucking blasted. Did we already take him down? Is he already down? Jesus Christ, I think he's down already. Dude stood no chance. No chance. Where is he? Is he up here? I don't even know if we actually killed him or if he ran off. Well, either way. Is that him? No, I don't know where this man is. Okay, well, we may have killed the commander. We may have not. I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know. Beep, end lives. Everyone just start ending lives. Yes. We are the Sith. We will accept no inferiors. Tip-Bob's making some moves. What's her skill at? 57? We got to get Araru and Brax up higher in skill, because right now they can't do the Force Leap. First time catching a stream. Has Beat conquered the world yet? Almost. We're getting there. We're getting there. It took some work, but we're getting there. You know, we're raising a Sith army to go deal with the Jedi at some point, but you know, after our last little excursion. Oh, there he is. There's the commander. Lost an arm. Well, Beep's gonna take him down. Take him down. Oh my god. Absolutely devastated him. Yes, Darth Beep wins. Darth Beep is the strongest Sith. Love it. Alright, well, we did what we had to do there. Is he dead? Nah, I don't know. Let's see if he gets back up. No, he's playing dead. I don't like when they play dead. We'll repair him and let him get back up so I can kill him again. Fantastic. Beep, finish him off. Hit him again. Need to make sure this number is going down. Is it going to go down? It is going down. Cool. Cool. I discovered both their channels through the lore vids, and I'm thankful for the pod, so I have more lore/theories after I ran out through the main channel's uploads. Yeah, I've got to get more going. I've had so many projects I'm working on simultaneously. I also have the the anthology series that I'm working on in the background as well that I have started, you know, production on with that. It's just I've got so many other side projects that I'm going on that I haven't had time to make like proper lore videos at the moment, but I will get back to doing it. It's not gone. I just haven't had a chance to. I've got some other stuff coming up very, very soon that could very well change the flow of the channel for a little while. I'm not quite sure how that's going to go. I'm not going to talk more about it right now, but I got some stuff coming up that might be changing the flow of the channel for a bit. In a good way, in a very, very good way, but not sure. We'll see. Yeah, dude, you guys absolutely crushed it. Minimal injuries. Tip-Op took some injuries, but that makes sense. Sleep. What? Is it my... Oh, seriously? The Cannibal Capital's beds are private? They're all fucking dead. Who's sleeping there? They were robots. What are you talking about? Just because the relevant plug. Oh, yeah. Dude, guys, check out the podcast channel. Tengu's Vault Podcast. Absolutely. Check it out. And, of course, I'll always be streaming. I'll be streaming regularly. Still, always. That's something that's not going away. Take some more guns, because some of the droids back at the base don't have guns right now. Take some of those. Take some of those for sure. I think 2 of the shadow droids don't have guns right now, so I'm going to grab some more of these. Yeah, guys, check out the Tengu's Vault podcast. The next episode should be airing very, very soon. Thursday, I believe, but I will reconfirm with Pedo. We're going to be talking about the Age of Chaos. Really tumultuous time. An area where there's not much known, barely any lore, but we are going to be talking about it. Because we do have some ideas as to what might have happened. We do have some ideas, and we've talked about them a little bit here and there, but we talk about the Age of Chaos. We're trying to work our way through Kenshi's timeline in terms of our episodes, basically like one at a time. So like we started with the theory episode, then we did the first Empire, and then we had a break with what is it? We had a break when we did the episode with Frankie last episode, and then we're going to go back to the first Empire. I mean, to Age of Chaos and all that stuff. So, and then after that, we'll do the second Empire episode. We're going to try to work our way through the timeline until we get to modern-day Kenshi. And then once we're at modern-day Kenshi, we're going to start driving into the individual factions and all of that stuff. So we've got a lot of good stuff planned. Is this fucking guy dead yet? The commando, the leader here. Is he dead? Crippled. We're going to hang out for a minute while he dies. I need him dead. Because I'm sick of these guys popping in here. Oh my god, he just doesn't want to die. Finish him off, Beep. He dead now? My lord, man. When will you accept defeat? Stop getting up! How many times do I got to teach you this lesson, old man? There we go. Hopefully the rogue droids will leave us alone now. Hopefully they'll leave us alone now. Well, fingers crossed. They are coming from another place. I think it's one of these ruins. We're going to head down south to see some of these ruins as well, because I think there's another outpost of rogue droids coming from in there. I will eliminate the rogue droids as a threat so that we can build Beep's Dark Fortress in peace without being assaulted by fucking B1s every 15 minutes. But I do think there's another outpost of them coming from the Floodlands. It would make sense. The worst thing I want to face is Beep at Beep's Fortress are when the clones come after us. The clones. Damn clones. Alright, we're going to head into the Floodlands, and we're going to do some investigating looking for rogue droids. Theme-based episodes will be nice to listen to as well, like an architecture focus. Yeah, so after we get through the timeline, we're going to start breaking into a lot more of the more nuanced aspects. Things like architecture, things like weapons, things like, agriculture, things like, individual factions and what their motivations and stuff like that are. Like, we're going to start getting into the real... Oh, I say and I do receive. We've got clone troopers coming towards us. That's so funny. I say it and it just happens. It just happens. Where are they coming from? That's the question. Over there. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we may actually need to haul ass out of here. Back to the base, because we do have an army of clones coming towards us. We do have a clone army headed towards us. Speaking of lore stuff, I've been browsing the Kenshi wiki, and I noticed that the racial bonuses for all types of hivers are different. Most notably, Fogmen replace toughness for melee attack. Yeah, it's because they're purely offensive, and the point is that, from a gameplay perspective, if they had, not replaced toughness for melee attack, basically the idea of it is that, for the Fogmen in particular, they have such vast numbers that they don't need to be tough, because they can just throw wave after wave after wave of disposable corpses and of disposable units until the corpses stack so high that they can just walk over their problems. Also, more minor stuff. Southern Hive soldier drones don't have perception penalty when the Western Hive soldiers do. That is also true. And a lot of that stuff comes down to the needs of the Hive, because the Hive, the Hive's various like races, the sub races for the Hivers, are produced dependent on what the Hive needs. If they need guards, they make soldier drones that are like good at being guards. But they also, I imagine, it has something to do with the type of biomass that is used to create them. So like the Hive soldier drones for the Western Hive, they use wheat straw. So maybe that something about the wheat straw gives them a perception disadvantage. Whereas the dude smoothie that the Southern Hive uses lends more towards, giving them some, better perception or something like that. There's a lot of reasons you could justify it. A lot of reasons you could justify it. All right, we got to get back up to the base. We'll come back down here and finish off whatever fucking mass of enemies is here later. But right now we got to get back up to the base so we can head off those clone troopers, because they are a coming, and they are a coming now. Upside is we do have allies at our base as well. But we're going to get there probably late in the game here. Fuck. Fuck. Oh yeah, they're coming up quick. We gotta move. We gotta move. Everybody go. Everybody go. It's funny that Beep swims so fucking slow, because he is arguably the fastest person that I have. Beep, you could haul ass. That'd be fucking great, man. Get back to the base. We got clones coming. The clones are coming. Attack of the clones. All right. all of you guys need to run as fast as you can, possibly can. Back to base. Get on over there. Everybody haul ass. Flee. All right, these are our allies? Yes, these are our allies. And the clone troopers are going to be coming up any second now. We don't know how many of them there are. There was a good amount last time. Oh, yeah, that's a fair amount of clone troopers. It's not a ton, but it is a fair amount, and they are all armed to the teeth. So we need to get all of our guys back here ASAP. All right, Savage is running slow right now. I guess he's going to get locked out. I don't have fucking time for that. You guys get in here. Meridian, get on turret. Zenith, get on turret. The rest of you, besides them, need to get into the base. Get into the base. Turn your jobs off. Go on hold for right now. The Moff sends his respect today. That would be Palpatine. That would be Palpatine. And there's also the droid traders here. So honestly, we're gonna fucking slap this raid. We're gonna smack this raid. Savage, dude, you need to pick up the pace, my guy. Why are you moving so slow? He's weightless. He's just slow as shit, man. Why is he moving so slow? Oh, his robotic leg is slowing him down. That's why. Oh my god, dude. This is a clusterfuck. Close the gate. Whoever's in is in. Whoever's out is out. I don't know what to tell you. Okay. So, clone troopers are coming. Wow, that is actually a fair amount of clone troopers. We got all of them here, all of them here. And it doesn't look like numbers-wise, it's not the most, but they all have guns. And so that's kind of scary. Okay, so this is about to get real bad real fast. But that's okay. Seriously? Seriously right now? You guys are going to attack my gate right now? Is that really what we should be doing right now? Really? You guys need to get out here and repair this gate. Stay on repair. Meridian, you need to get over here. Get on this turret right there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Alright, and it looks like it's beginning. It is beginning! Oh my lord, they're firing, squatting. I need... all of the fucking... Our allied reinforcements are dodos, and they're all gonna run over there in a straight line and get fucking gunned down. So we're gonna end up having to do this solo. Sweet Jesus. I'm surrounded by fucking idiots. What is happening? Who's attacking who? Okay, the droid traders are now attacking... What the hell is happening? The droid traders are attacking the CIS. So now it's just... Oh my god, it's become full-on anarchy. Full-on anarchy. Oh my god. Brady and Zenith, you guys need to focus your fire on them. Gunners. You guys all need to focus your fire on the clones. Oh my god, what a mess. Alright, go ahead, knock me off the fucking turret, that's fine. That's fine, knock me off the turret, that's fine. Joke's on you, my guy. I've got... Oh, wait. What's happening? Savage Opress is out here just doing his thing. Alright, Savage is running in. Savage is running in. He gives no shits. Not a single one. I am not going to let him run over to the main part of, like, bulk of the enemy force, though. That's too much. This is a fucking massacre. Look at this. They commandeered my turrets, and now they're shooting at the droid traders from... Oh, my God, dude. This is a massacre. I don't even know what happened. This just got fucking chaotic as hell. This became unadulterated chaos really fast. Do you not have ammunition? You don't. You're out of ammunition. Okay, we need to do something about that. Energy cells. Are these CIS? That's a CIS, right? Ah, shit. Where are those droid engineers at? Droid engineers. Alright, get over here. Shoot him. Hit him. Beat him down. Oh my God. Alright, fine. Hop on the turret since you clearly don't want to do anything other than that. Do you have ammunition? You do. Bro, you need to start... Use your gun! You have a gun! Use the fucking gun! Oh my God. Alright, Savage is running in. He's feeling pretty ballsy. See how that goes for him. Okay, hold on. Opening the gate. Maul, Riku, Brax, Raro, Tip-Bob, Kang. Sprint on out there and haul it good, buddy. Everybody go. Put him down. Jesus Christ. What happened here? Darth Maul hopped on a turret for some reason. I don't even know why. What a mess. What a mess. Alright, Shark, Ray, and Zenith. None of you guys, I don't want you guys participating in this. The rest of you can head on over this way and just start taking them down. Clone officer, take him down. We're under attack. I'd say you're under attack. Go, go! Oh, man. How are we doing? Two Brax, Tip-Bob. Well, Press took some damage, but... Oh, he's up on a turret now. My dude just hopped full on turret. Just hopped right on the turret. And, okay. Alright, this has been, an event. This has been an event. That's the only way I know how to describe this. This has been an absolute event. Jesus. You're the one with the gun that has no fucking ammunition? Come get ammunition, dude. What are you doing? Since you clearly don't have any. Energy cells, take that. Just start looting energy cells off these guys, since you clearly don't know how to use yours. Stunning. Alright, Meridian, same deal with you. I need you to get a different gun, though. Your whole thing is you need a different gun. This pistol thing is not working. You're not using it properly. You're not using it properly. Alright, we'll take this shitty carbine for now. So I can get a replacement. Hey, Dragon, what's going on? Welcome to the party, comrade. Welcome to the party. Alright, Maul is on the move. Maul is on the move. I don't know what he's doing since most of the enemies are dead, but that's fine. Just cleaning up the leftovers. Trying to shoot Tip-Bob? Unacceptable. Unacceptable. We just got attacked by a massive force of clones. But as you can see, it did not go well for them. Did not go well for them. And these were also the droid traders. I don't know why, but they ended up getting attacked by the CIS reinforcements. So, yeah, things have been weird. Things have been weird. Who do we have pickup guns for? There it was. It was you. It was you. All right, which one of you guys don't have guns? I think you don't. Yeah, you don't. Give you that. And that. Fantastic. And then I think you don't either. Yeah. You all of that. All that good stuff. Fantastic. So now when they're out, they can do stuff. Time for some recruiting? Oh, no. We already recruited. These guys are already recruited. We've got 6 more droids that we just recruited. I guess theoretically we could pull some of these clones and force them to join us, but I don't know. Force the clones to join us and then make them part of our army. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Not I. Jesus Christ! Absolute chaos. Absolute chaos. I need to get my hands on some AT-ATs, man. AT-STs, I mean, because these things are fucking absolutely baller. Absolutely baller. Binary lifter droid, huh? Interesting. Jesus. What a mess. Okay, well, you guys can go back to your jobs now. How's our gunners do? Yeah, they barely took any damage. We do need to get a skeleton repair gun running because some of these guys are starting to get really messed up in the long run in terms of their overall health. Their overall health is beginning to suffer. Beginning to suffer. Okay, so now Beep, Maul, Oppress, Braxton, Araru, Kang. Yeah, you guys are in good shape. All of you guys get back over here. Fantastic. Now we're going to go back to the Floodlands to finish what we were doing in the first place, which is looking for another outpost, or that the enemy is that those droids are possibly coming from, because we're getting attacked by rogue droids too often, and I need them to stop. And I think they're coming out of the Floodlands because the idea is that they were in the they were being produced, and they refused to shut off when the shut-off order came. So we need to deal with that. We need to deal with that. Then you need to stay on your job. Gonna make a euro and hope that stops the hangover. Best of luck to you, comrade. Best of luck to you. I hope it stops the hangover. I hope that, hope you're feeling pretty good. Hope you're feeling pretty good when you're done. Oh, man. Let's see if we can find the location that these filthy fucking rogue droids are coming from, because I am quite sick and tired of them. Sick and tired of them attacking me every fucking 15 minutes. I feel like we get a rogue droid attack. Granted, we did stop the ones that were coming out of the cannibal capital, but they were doing this before I killed the cannibal grand leader, so they got to be coming from somewhere else too. And prior to that, they were coming out of here. So my assumption is that there's some kind of building or factory that is present here that they're coming out of. That would be my assumption. Excuse me. Everybody get over here. Right. Head on over there. Obviously, there's the big fort that belongs to the smugglers, and we've taken that one down a couple of times, but that's not the only area that is of a concern. Big stuff over here. A lot of big stuff. All right. Headed towards these ruins. So this is one ruin. This is clearly not it. Unknown object. Let's head further over this way and see if maybe there's anything over here. See if there's anything over here. King. Stuck in my tooth. Bleeding. Oh. Hurt. Okay, well, deal with that after. Alright, strange object. Unknown object, unknown tower. Okay. I'm going to comb through the floodlands because there's always squads of these rogue droids that come out of the floodlands and attack us, and I want to know... what their source is. Who does number 2 work for? I feel like they might be coming out of the, out of obedience or something. I don't know. The source is that I made it the f up. Exactly. Dragon did it. He made it up. He made that shit right up. We will discover the source of these rogue droids that constantly plague me. Leaning Tower. Interesting. There's these ruins over here. I don't think those are going to be a problem. Those are ruins. Maybe over here. Maybe over here. Oh, wow, God. You guys all chose to go different directions, and you all chose the most inconvenient ways to go. AI. Dude, I hope the AI in Kenshi 2 is a little bit more, not stupid. It's not the worst, but it's definitely not great sometimes, that's for sure. I just hope it's a little bit more, more seamless. Alright, come on, pop on in, everybody. Go see what's inside this place. Alright. A lot of hunk, a lot of junk. Well, it doesn't look like this is the source, but we may get the research materials that we need, so there's that. Cursed whenever Kenshi 2 drops the sources, I made the fuck up. Alright, because it looks like, yeah, this isn't, it's not gonna be, it's not too bad. This could definitely be worse in terms of enemies for us to fight. So we'll run through, we'll clear this place out, and then, yeah, we'll run through and clear this place out. Force choke all the robots. That's what I'm saying. Crush them with the Force. Crush them with the Force. They're not even fighting back. That is what you just saw. Yes, Beep is actually a sponsor for what is it, a fucking Nike? Yeah, Beep is actually a sponsor for Nike. Okay, in case you didn't know, Beep is a sports fan. Big sports fan. Big sports fan. The sportiest of sports fans. He's been sporting for so damn long. Hello, all. Goodbye, all. Look at these droidicas aren't even really trying to put up a fight here. Ridiculous. Anyway, all right, let's go rob some of these things. You destroyed 17 helpless battle droids without suffering a scratch. It really had to be done, though. Let's be honest. It had to be done. I'm going to pick through all these cargo crates, and most of them are going to be shit. Oh, yes, that's what we need. We need one more of those. Most of them are going to be shit, but not all of them. And the ones that aren't are going to be great. Come on, Beep. Come in. There we go. That's what we need. Okay, so now we have all of the ancient schematics that we need. No. No. Have that. Nothing particularly useful here that we need. Ancient safe. Nice. More of those. Hello. I'm sure we're probably going to need some of these at some point. We can always use more robotic repair kits. Absolutely. Can never have too many med kits. That's what I'm saying. Can never have too many med kits. There was actually one over here that I skipped over. What was it? Was it this one? Was it this one? Was it this one? Was it this one? No? Was it that one? No. Was it this bottom one? No. That one? There we go. That's one of the... I found it. Okay. Well, that wasn't the source, but it was a good start. You say as you leave one in the safe. Hey, I went back for it. I went back for it. I don't ever grab the was it the I don't grab the first aid. I grab the like medical supply kits, like the ones you can actually use to heal yourself. You know, these ones, the advanced med kits. Grab those things. I don't grab lesser quality ones. Okay. I didn't see you take it. Did I miss one? I don't think I missed one. Splint kits. Didn't grab those because I don't use them. Oh, we did miss this crate here. No. Nope. Oh, there it is. There it is. You're right. Shh. Fine. Don't worry about it. I found it. You were right. You were right. I acknowledge it. I was wrong. You were right. It's all fine. It's totally fine. Ruins, unknown object. I don't know if they're around here. Ruins, yeah. I don't know. I don't know where the droid production facilities are. Hopefully, taking out that that leader at the cannibal capital will prevent them from raiding us for at least a little while. Is Araru stuck? I think Araru's stuck. Beep, go pick up Araru. Who does number 2 work for? Alright. We're gonna head up north, head up over this way. See what else we can find. Find any trace of where these rat bastards are coming from. They gotta be coming from somewhere. They gotta be coming from somewhere. And when I find them, I'll probably do something. If you're referring to me, I work for myself. Touché. Touché, good sir. Touché. Touchés. Here. I'm really interested in figuring out where the hell these guys are coming from, because they keep raiding the base. And it's not the end of the world. Like, we fend them off every time. But, and they are a good supply of droids, but they attack us with such frequency, which is crazy, because I actually turned the frequency of raids down for this playthrough, because I was told, hey, they raid a lot, turn your frequency down. Like, don't like, if you have it turned up, turn it down. So I turned it down to, like, normal amounts, and the normal amount that they raid me is fucking ridiculous. I can only imagine if I had it 2 times, it'd never stop. It would never stop. Too many. They are doing too much. Entirely too much. Camp. I don't know who owns it, though. Imperial Swamp Shelter. Swamps. Turn it up to the max for the fun of it. Oh, jeez. I don't think I'm ready for that. I don't think my computer is ready for that. These are Imperials. Yeah. Yeah. Araru, block, hold, passive, because you actually have are wanted by the CIS for reasons that I don't really know. Looks like it's going to be a slower shift. Yeah, it's because we're here. That's right. We're going to do all the... We're going to clean up everything for you. That's what we do. I don't think we're going to be able to recruit any of these guys, which is fine. That's fine. That's fine. All right, fine. Well, I am at a loss for the source, but it does seem like the attacks have slowed down, so there's at least that. There is at least that. Anything up here? Anything in the wild? Anything in the wild up here? I think not. Not seeing much. A beautiful glaying soil. Yeah, no, it's looking pretty barren. Over here is all snow. We're going to avoid that. All right, well, then I guess we'll take out our frustrations on this village. We'll go from there. We've got the research we need and the ancient schematics we need in order to get the next tier of research, which is good because we can start to upgrade our weapons. So at least we got something out of this. We got something out of it. We may not necessarily figured out where the droids are coming from, but we did get something out of it, which is good. Which is good. All right. Let us engage in friendly combat. Do I have a Wookiee? No, I had a Wookiee and he died. Let us engage in frivolity. Absolute frivolity. The men, the women, the children. If you do, that might explain as to why there are droids, why the droids are attacking. Maybe they still think you have one. I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about that. I find what you're saying untrustworthy, Dragon. I find what you're saying particularly untrustworthy. Are any of you not dead outright? Any of you that look interesting not dead outright? Most of you guys are probably just dead outright. Yeah, dying. Dead. Yeah. Real bad. Oh, wait. Oh no, I can't heal. Oh no, he's dead. He's dead. Never mind. The droids are racist against Wookiees. I mean, you know, Beep actually, I think Beep is enemies with the Wookiees. No, I think he's enemies with the yeah, hold on. Wookiee refugees. So Beep is wanted by the Wookiee refugees. I don't know what I dislike more, rugs or clankers. Touche. All right, well, we took out our frustrations on this cannibal village. I don't think they're getting up. I don't think that village is going to be a problem anymore. Old village? We can go there, see what's there. We're going to clear out the cannibal plains. Make the cannibal plains safe again. Sir, make them safe again. We're going to get together and we're going to make the cannibal plains safe again. Nope. Broken down village. Good to know. Suspicious lab, we already did that one. Cannibal village over here, not worried about that one. Landing Mountain, they should be dead. Lost library, lost armory. I'm just trying to see if there's anything in the immediate vicinity that we should address. But I think we're pretty fine. I think we're pretty fine. So let's head back to the base and get to work on production. Get to work on production now. A little bit of production. We got to make some new lightsabers. Because when we assault the Jedi, I need to make sure that we are equipped with the best possible gear. We will not have a repeat of the fall that led to Agnew's death. When we assault the Jedi, we're going to be going in balls deep, full force. We're going to take all of our gunners. We're going in all the way. It's going to be a whole thing. We're going to have firing squads lined up. It's going to be a whole ordeal. We're going to be gunning them down left and right. They'll never see it coming. No, they won't. At some point, I also want to go deal with the Black Suns. Take all of my guys and go deal with the Black Suns. I think that'll be a good place to raid. Got a lot of people in there, though, so if we do it, we gotta be careful about that. Upside is that getting hit by a firing squad will be a hell of a lot harder with when it's set up that way. Who are these? Execute Order 69. Order 69. I see what you did there. You're a funny guy. You're a funny guy. Who are these guys? Oh, those are our allied reinforcements. Let's see. Interesting. Back to the base. What ails you? I'm a skull dog, so I guess you can call me a rug as well, but good luck turning me into a rug. In fact, I will take that as a challenge, and I love a challenge. Challenge accepted. Get on in here and drop off all of these sweet, wonderful research materials. Okay. Now we can get research going again. Tech level 5, super important. Once we get tech level 5 done, we can go from there. We're more interested in smithing. Base weapon grades 4. Love that. Prototype mark. Yeah. Base weapon grades. Yeah. Okay. All of you guys, go back to your jobs. Riku, Maul, all of you guys. Get back to work. Everybody get back to work. For the Republic. Nope. For the Republic. The removal of my channel for the Republic. As the way that God intended it. Dude, we need copper so fucking bad. What we need to do is we need to research better power options. What do we have for that? Because we are in rough shape right now. We could probably do generators, but we only have so much fuel right now. Well, I guess what do we have to lose on that? There we go. All right. Oh, solar generator theory. That's solid. Let's grab that too. Grab both of those. We'll have a backup, the whole 9. Cool. Cool. All right. So now we're researching tech. We're doing tech stuff. Techie stuff. Good. It's good. It's real good. How are we doing on this cotton? All right, are we storing it, or are we just using it to do other things? What are we doing with this? Are we actually making fabric? Storing fabric? What's happening with that? Yeah, it looks like we're doing all right with it. Fair enough. Let's wait until we have stuff up there. We'll get it started, and then we'll go from there. Savage is gonna make that. It's gonna take him quite a bit of time because we don't have the other stuff researched yet. Standard Mark II, which I think was the same quality as the one that he had made previously, which is not ideal. We need it to be better than that. So we're gonna pause power on you. No more power for you. Savage, stop hammering. Can't hammer when it ain't got no power, my guy. All right, so we'll jump on that in a minute. Why not hemp? Pretty sure it's more efficient or something. Because I don't know, because we just chose to use cotton. I don't know. We just chose to use cotton. It was a conscious decision. Possibly a conscious decision. How did the battle droid end up inside the Rancor pen? I don't even want to know. Theory proposal: vein is red due to the excessive iron leaching in its river. A real-world phenomenon when natural iron deposits rust over time can create a red hue in the nearby waters. That is possible. That's actually the red hue is also the same reason that the sands and the dirt and stuff over in like the hidden forest has a bit more of a rust colored tint. Whereas up here is obviously glaying because it's water. It was waterlogged and rich with iron, so the iron got reduced chemically. Where are the Rancors? They were eaten by blood spiders when we went to go get Maul and Savage when we fought Deathwatch. We killed all of Deathwatch and kidnapped Savage Opress. Totally worth it. Downside was that the Rancors were both eaten by blood spiders during the fight. There was hundreds of blood spiders. We ended up spending more time fighting blood spiders than we did fighting Deathwatch, which was crazy. Deathwatch ended up losing more people to blood spiders than they did to us. Like it was honestly nuts. Honestly nuts. Are our workers working? No, they're not. Get back to it, boys. Oh, they are working. Never mind. Need some thermal detonators. I know. My DM wouldn't allow me. Those are special items that only you have to have DM permission to get. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. Perfect. Beep, get it as well. The auto loom's running. Yes. Perfect. Okay. Hi, chat. I need a favor. What are we at in this playthrough? I just found the channel a few days ago. I'm currently on episode 6 of the Dwarves, Rip Gurgle. Oh, good. You're at the point in the playthrough where where the quality starts to get better. After like episode 8, the quality starts to pick up. Like the quality of like the actual like stream itself. I was figuring out how to stream. So you've gotten past the rough part. Gear up. Things are only going to get crazier. Rip a lot of people in that playthrough. Yeah. Oh man, what a mess. Where are we at in this playthrough? We're on episode 13. Beep has his compound. He's becoming a Sith Lord. He is a Sith Lord. He has his compound where he's training Sith apprentices. And we are training so we can go to war with the Jedi Hideaway where Master Yoda and a shit ton of other Jedi are at. That is our current goal right now. So we're building up an army of Shadow Trooper droids and Sith acolytes. If you're watching the Dwarf playthrough, do make sure that you also watch the cinematic finale that I did for it. I did a nice cinematic finale for it. It was really, really good. Was really stoked about it. So I think it went really, really well. It like tied up the series nicely. Really closed everything off. Closed everything up. Yeah, no, man, the dwarves were... That was my first ever live stream series that I did. Very proud of that series. Very proud of that series. She was a beast. He was a beast. King Vishu and his journey from the bottom. First, he started at the bottom, then he's there. Then he was there. Right. How is research going? Weapons grades are there. We can upgrade this thing. We're going to need iron plates. Fantastic. Let's get the solar stuff built first. Our solar power generators. Yes, this is what we needed. Yes. This is exactly what we needed. Solar generators. Throw these things back here so they're kind of out of the way. Stunning. Miraculous. Sensational. Sensational. Oh my god, another fucking bot. Get rid of that one too. It's always the same bot. It's always for this like random like they're always pilfering the same fucking site, the stream boo thing, whatever it is. Nonsense. Nonsense. Love it. I'm really enjoying all the content, especially the lore deep dives. Well, if you have any questions and you ever jump in the lives, I'm always, part of the, I'm sure you know at this point based on watching the live streams, but part of the live streams is taking the opportunity to chat with me directly about the lore, ask me questions and Sometimes I formulate theories and discover things and all that stuff in real time during the stream. So if you ever have any questions or anything like that, feel free to ask away. Ask away. Part of it. Part of it. Shark. How are we doing? Built. Yes. Sweet Jesus, we're finally getting actual power again. Actual power. Good, because we can use those to charge our batteries. Boom, 95. Probably make another one. How many more? Yeah, we have enough to make literally one more. Make one more solar generator. Right there. Drop it. Beep. Drop it. Boom. And that should get us to where we need to be. Good. Good, good, good. We've got nice solar power now. Solar energy. Just what we need. Maul, take some iron plates. I'm sure we have a shit ton of them. No, we don't have any of them. Why do we not have any of them? I thought we were producing these. Are they down here? They're down here. That's why. Raru, take some iron plates. How many? Like 4? 5? Probably like 5. There we go. Okay. So, we're going to drop these in here. You guys get over here and help. More people we have building this thing, the better. These things take forever to upgrade. My God. My God. Once we get this thing upgraded, we'll be able to do better research. Better research means better weapons. Better weapons is good for reasons that I don't think I need to explain. Standard Mark III, which is good. Better. Still not quite what we're looking for, but it is an improvement. Downside is it looks like they're still going to come out colored black, which is not, I mean, it's not the end of the world. It does look pretty cool, but I was hoping for red. You know, I was hoping for the red look, but it's not terrible. We got a bop in the background. It's badass. I wish we had some kyber crystals, but I don't even know where to begin to get them. Don't even know where to begin to get them. No. Oh, we're building mats. Meditation mats. These are for toughness training, isn't it? Yeah, these train toughness. Ooh, that's nice. That's real nice. That's real nice. Love that. Okay. Beep, you get up here. Why is no one going where I want them to go? Beep, get up here. Ah, whatever. Okay, fine. You guys go back to what you're doing. Nobody's really moving the way that I want them to right now. Very weird. You can farm the max tech level, also change the weapon station when placing it, and it changes its color. Wait, what? Max tech level also change the weapon station when placing it. Changes its color. Really? Really? Okay. Hold on. Let me see. Is that true? Crafting, weaponsmith. I mean, it just says, I just have the 2. Yeah, I just have the 2. I just have the 2. The Star Wars one? Oh, I have the Clone Trooper bench. I don't have the all of that. Yeah, I mean this is the Star Wars one, so it's weaponsmith, but it's like it's retextured to be Star Wars, unless there's a specific one that I have to get from for like the lightsabers, but I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that one. I'd believe you, but I haven't seen it. There are 2 Star Wars options. They have a lightsaber bench. Is it in the tech tree then? We'll finish upgrading this and then we'll see. It might be in the tech bench and I'm just an idiot. It's always possible. It's always possible that Hero's just being a dum-dum. You can't discount that. You can't look past that. All right, that's always an option. All right, Star Wars. Nothing in the tree. Smithing. Obviously, we need the advanced weapons. Those are advanced schematics. We're gonna wait on that just in case. Advanced weapon smithing. Weapon crafting station 3. Power hammers, hive. Shadow Stormtrooper, hive weapons, additional Imperial helmets, cloaks and hoods. Do love cloaks and hoods. Cloaks and hoods. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything in here. AI cores, we'll just get that research going. It might be a special blueprint you need to find first. I found a lot of them. Indeed. Might be one of those things we have to go on a trip for. Every time I hear Dum Dum, I think back to the Smithsonian movie. Fair enough. I'm sorry. Are we just gonna let this happen right now, guys? Are we just gonna let this river raptor come in here and start messing with our crops? What the fuck are you guys doing? Come on. Come on. We have standards here. We have armed guards with guns. Oh my god. The audacity, the nerve, the gall. What'd you miss? Not a ton. Not a ton. We're working on getting our tech research back up and running. All of that's really moving. That's pretty much about it. That's the vast majority of it. Have turrets do job attack animals. Are the turret guards not set to attack neutrals? I think I have shoot first. Ask questions later. Yeah, I do. I do. Your turrets will shoot at any potentially dangerous but neutral targets. Yeah, they're there. They're there. I don't know why they didn't shoot. I have no idea. My AI is kind of being clunky right now. They're being really stupid. Like a second ago, I was having an issue with the AI too. I think it's just things are being a little dumb right now. Little dumb right now. Like Riku, what are you doing, man? Get over here and we need research to speed up. Yeah, these guys just keep getting in here, and it seems like they're not doing really shit about it, and I find that disturbing. I find that quite disturbing. All right, we're gonna give this thing power again and have Savage come over and see what he can get done. See how it looks. Got decent weaponsmithing, so it's gonna come out as a standard Mark III with an 87% chance of critical success, which honestly, pretty fucking good. Only 8 hours of runtime, not bad. Not bad at all. Oh, sure. Now you shoot at the river raptors. Ridiculous, man. Absolutely ridiculous. Also, the sheer number of river raptors here is insane, given that it's the Cannibal Plains. I find it very awkward that we have that many of them here. Very awkward we have that many here. Ray, what are you doing, man? You're just sitting by the food all day. I feel like you're not even actually doing anything. The guy's not even actually doing shit. He's just sitting by the food all day. Gotta be the fat ass. He's just sitting by the food all day. Sorry, I'm a big back. They call him the backpack. 5 hours left on this. Not bad. Master crafting, all that stuff is really cute. Really cute. Cool. Okay, so it may be a research segment that we have not gotten yet, which makes me wonder how one does that. Because we can craft... I also need to know where kyber crystals are. That's the other thing. Does anybody have any idea where kyber crystals are in this? Because that's probably going to be what we focus on next episode tomorrow is finding kyber crystals. Because if I have kyber crystals, I can just make ringed lightsabers and skip the middleman on all that crap. I can just make the ringed lightsabers outright. Skip all that crap, make the ringed one. Or not as good as the Old Republic one, for sure, but, you know. Or... Where'd you get the ringed lightsaber one? I found the blueprint for it when I went and visited and the Old Republic ones. Yeah, I found the blueprint for it in Shem at the smuggler's hideout here. Right here. Which it may be time for Beep to take another trip down there at some point. That's also where we got several of our lightsabers at. We have a lot of them. Hold on. Where we got several of our really strong lightsabers at. Like these ones here. The Old Republic two-handed pikes. Those ones are really cool. Double-bladed ones, all that stuff. So, yeah. But I'm trying to make double-bladed red lightsabers specifically. The Old Republic ones seem to be stronger just by default, but depending on what we can get, we may switch things out. Okay, all right. So Savage, now you have that one there, and I think it's still gonna be black. Let's head on out and see what we can find. Gotta find a bone dog or something. Here we are. River raptors, the bane of my existence. Come hither, river raptors. All right, Savage. All right, so yeah, he's got a black-bladed lightsaber right now. And I'm pretty sure the texture is fucked up because we're using the wrong workstation. I'm going to assume that's probably it. There's a random moving tent trader that has all of Revan's equipment. His sabers are free and strong. Indeed. Yeah, I'm going to assume that you're probably right. The textures are fucked up on this because it's not just black. It's actually, it looks like it's just not right. And so I'm going to assume that it's because the textures are messed up because I made it on the wrong bench. Same way that if you make like Dawn Guard weapons on the wrong bench with the Dawn Guard mod, the weapons come out with the wrong texture. So I'm going to assume that's what it is, and that you are correct on that. However, Jesus Christ, this thing has a value of 239,000. Okay, well, that's pretty cool. That's pretty good. Not half bad. Not half bad. All right. Well, I think next episode, Beep is going to be looking for some kyber crystals and whatnot for that. I think that's what we're going to do with that. With that being said, guys, it is midnight here. I'm getting pretty tuckered out. Commentary is definitely suffering because of it. I'm not as quick as I was towards the beginning of the stream. And I think I'm going to call it for the evening, and we'll be back tomorrow with some more Kenshi shenanigans as well. And save. There we go. Okay, yeah, so I think that's what we're going to call it for the evening, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, I appreciate your time. I'll see you guys tomorrow for some more Kenshi stuff. We'll be back with Darth Beep, and we're going to be getting some more stuff moving. Hopefully getting lightsaber production really running tomorrow. And then once lightsaber production is done and we're able to get everyone outfitted with the proper equipment, I think we're going to take another crack at that fucking Jedi encampment. I think we're nearing the time that we can do that. Take another crack at them. We've got some strong boys. I think we can do it. I think we can do it now, but we'll see. As always, guys, use your powers for good instead of evil. Make a difference in someone's life. And yeah, that's all I got. I don't have a funny way to end this one. I don't have anything. I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right.